This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Sattva Luxury Mattress, the only online mattress company that provides free delivery, setup, and mattress removal.
Welcome to Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to Your Mom's House.
Oh, man. A lot of crazy things happening. This episode's going to be nuts, but we've been adding a lot of dates on this tour. If you don't know yet, the 2019 tour for me is blowing up. Added a second show, San Francisco, the Masonic. That's January 4th. San Diego, we sold out too. We added a third, January 12th. That's almost gone, so I don't know if we're going to add again. After that, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. They're all on sale, tomsegura.com/tour. And the added shows have been happening left and right. The most recent ad, I can't even tell you actually. I don't remember, but it might be another Seattle show went on sale. That's in May 3rd. Just go to the site and grab tickets. I'll see you guys in Pachanga. That's sold out next week. Gene, what about you?
All right. Gene, this Saturday, I added a late show in San Diego at the House of Blues. That's November 24th. A few tickets left on that late show, so snatch them up now. December 1st, Flappers Comedy Club in the side room. I'm doing a 7:30 and a 9:30 show. And then December 7th, Philadelphia, late show. Just a handful of tickets left on that one. December 8th, Gramercy Theater, same deal. December 8th, new Judor Titties. And then January 10th, the Comedy Store, January 31st through February 2nd. I'm in Denver, Colorado at Comedy Works. And then in February in Madison, Wisconsin, the Comedy Club on State. I'm doing the Ride or Die Tour. You can check out the tickets at Christina P. Online.
Nice.
There you go, Denim.
All right. Don't forget The Degenerates, of course, on Netflix.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And Instant Family. It's in theaters right now. Go check it out.
Right now.
Hope you enjoy it. A lot of people have told me that they laughed and cried, and they're upset that they cried. All right.
You're terrible.
Is it time?
It's time.
It is time. The great, you might know him as Sickle Cell, but to us, he'll always be known as the great Ryan Sickler.
He's like a son to me, man.
Like a son to me, man. He's like a son to me. He is here. The new album is out. It's currently number 1 on the iTunes charts.
Dog.
It's Ryan Sickler. Get a hold of yourself. Let's keep it at number 1. Go try it. Check it out, try it out, and let's do a proper show open and get this whole thing started, all right? Here we go. I know Christina will like this one. Here we go, Gene.
Okay.
I turn into a telescope when I see your page. You feel so good to me, babe, that when I meet you and you talk to me, I want you to melt me like hot chocolate candy do. Mm-hmm. And not with hot breath, but with cool. I love you, babe. You melt me every day.
This shit is big time.
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand.
Welcome to Your Mom's House.
I thought you would dig that video because it was like a really smooth like guy talking to chicks.
I couldn't get past his teeth.
What was wrong with his teeth?
What? Right.
Can I tell you what I thought of that?
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to know. I had 2 questions.
Okay.
One, where the fuck did that guy get a cell phone and sunglasses in prison? He's in prison. Okay? The dental work and the haircut are prison appropriate, but the
Right.
cell phone and the fucking sunglasses,
How did he do
where are you
it?
getting cell block B's over there giving fucking shout outs?
We're always fascinated by the length, the depth that men will go to. I mean, all of us want to get laid, but like, you know, some people are just out there Like, I'll make you come, guy. You know. Like
yeah.
this.
Well, they
And
throw it out there too hard. It's not always a good approach.
This
you know what
guy
I
is
mean?
just, you know.
Good rising.
Good ride.
Hi, babe. On this great Saturday. I've been looking at your pictures so long, babe. And they magnify my eyes, babe.
Oh, see, what happened was your picture did that to his eyes.
Oh, like the telescope.
I'm a telescope.
I turn into a telescope when I see your page.
Huh? When I see your
You
baby.
feel so
Page.
good to me, babe, that when I meet you and you talk to me, I want you to melt me like hot chocolate candy.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah, dude.
And not with hot breath, but with cool.
Hot breath?
I love you, babe. You melt me every day.
That is
'Kay.
prison poetry right there.
Yeah, that is.
You know what, though? I know why this works. I know why guys are doing
Please tell
this.
us.
I got
Yeah?
it.
Yeah.
Because it does work. And because every woman deep down inside wants to be told this stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
not like
from that
that.
shell. Yeah. Like not in that presentation. Yeah. But we all want to hear that.
You want that candy bar, just not that wrapper.
That's right.
There.
Thank you very much. Yes. Look how handsome Ryan Sickler looks. Look
Yeah.
at you, dude.
Thanks.
You look
Get
good,
a hold
man.
of yourself. I like this title.
I appreciate it, guys.
See, there's different guys who put it out there in different ways. I don't know if you've ever.
You know, I
Oh,
wish
God.
there was some place you could go where you could just make love to someone. Treat them nicely, though. And then in the morning, they go their way, you go your way.
Yeah, prostitutes.
Yeah, prostitutes. What's he watching in the
just
background?
Like,
What is that
well,
on? Is
That's always the question.
I wonder what that is.
Well,
It's
the
usually
first time
Rachel
it was
Maddow.
Rachel Maddow, which I was like, I didn't figure this guy from MSNBC type, but
This
yeah.
right here, right?
No hard feelings, nothing. You just have straight up sex,
Ugh.
foreplay. I have you, a clean person.
Clean, be
Gotta
clean
be
for me.
Somebody who smells good down there, you know.
Down there.
Keep myself clean.
Guys are
Keep
always
yourself
worried about
clean.
that.
Yeah, and also,
Well, you think he'd put his teeth in just for this?
well, different videos. He treats you differently. So this is one without.
Short, tall, skinny, what have you.
Yeah,
There should be somebody out there that wants to hook up just for
yeah.
sex. I wish
can't
they could find
look.
me a rich woman.
And then he's nice enough to be like, it'd be nice if she was rich too. Take care.
Here's
of
the
me.
thing about that. There is someone out there for
I
him.
know. Someone out
guess
there is
what?
like, I'm here, me.
Somebody did reach out to him, and then he put his teeth in.
Hello out there.
Whoa!
Hope you're doing great today.
Looks a lot better.
New look for me.
Yeah, I like those two.
Thank you for all the vagina panty shots. I appreciate that. Very nice.
Everything about it is like the
Woo.
lighting is better.
Yes.
His energy is up. Like he definitely is
Yes.
fired up.
He
That
meets.
spit between the teeth is
That's
always
nice.
something.
He also
you know?
meets the
fucked
your
up.
mom's house criteria of having the television on in the background loudly, so that he records his audio and that audio at the same
Right.
time.
A lot of beautiful women on here. You
Ugh.
know, if you get you a guy that don't look all great, he'll stay with you longer. He won't cheat on you with another woman. He won't cheat on you with another guy.
All right. Is that the sales pitch for
Just
him?
let you know. I love all his knickknacks back there. Do you see him?
Well,
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't know if you're familiar with the criterion for your mom's house video, but A, the lighting has to be garbage.
Check.
B, the shot the shot has to be bad too. It's got to be
Check.
shot from down
Yeah.
here. There needs to be like a fan or something in the background.
the TV.
The TV. The
Check.
audio has to be poor.
You got
all the
ticked
above.
all the
Yeah.
boxes, huh?
Have you? I'm so excited to get to this. I'm jumping all around. First of all, why don't we? Before I forget,
I love Ryan Sickler
I
so
know
much.
he's the
You're
best.
so nice.
Gosh.
So the album. Where did you record the album?
I'm not allowed to say.
Really?
Yeah, they made me sign saying, you probably know by me saying that, but they made me sign a deal. I was like, I'd be happy to promote that.
Oh,
and they
I
were
know
like,
it.
nope. So they wouldn't let me say, but it was in Southern California.
Okay. What's the? I'm not trying to pry to get it, but like,
Get on.
what's the? Why did they say don't? You're not allowed to say.
I don't know. I don't know if it's part of like they don't want everyone thinking they can come and do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's a riffraff thing or because
Usually the places are
be happy to
like,
have
put that
themselves
shit
promoted.
in large print.
Yeah.
Okay. But you recorded it at a
Anaheim Angel Stadium. I'll just go ahead and say it. 100 people showed. It was in the dugout.
That's where we subbed Pac-Man, right? Wasn't it?
That was it. Anaheim, Bill Engvall seats. Roy Firestone sound.
Roy
with it.
Can I
Firestone.
tell you?
Guys.
Guys.
My favorite thing when the two of you get together.
Yeah.
Because I've known you two. I consider you a brother, Ryan.
Thank you,
Sickle
Christine.
cell. I've known you for 15 years.
I was just thinking about it the other night. It's been at least that, maybe more.
You've been a guest in our home for holidays, Thanksgivings, everything. And my favorite thing when you come around is that you light Tommy up.
That's really
and
nice.
The two of
look
you.
At him. Look how he lights up.
I know. I'm telling you. Look, this is the happiest he's been all day.
He's got that guy's teeth in right now.
And the two
Feeling
of you
better.
start talking like black guys immediately when you get together.
Okay.
Yeah, you start yelling in black the minute
my
you get
God.
together.
All
Yes,
right.
you just did it in the dugout.
Well, we were yelling at Pac-Man.
Just yelling.
Yeah.
Oh, not yelling in black?
I don't know.
I don't know if we would call it like
In
that.
black.
In black.
Yes.
Black voice. In a funny black voice.
You have brothers.
I do.
Did you ever smoke meth with them?
Never.
Ever thought about it?
I have smoked weed with both my brothers, and that's as far as my drug really goes anyway. I'm not crazy. They've done a lot more stuff, but
You're someone who I always wanted to show this to.
I don't smoke meth.
Do you know about this guy, the meth guy?
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
shit,
Let me get a
man.
look at him.
Okay.
I'm not good with names.
Well, see,
Okay.
If you've had any kind of erectile disorder
Oh, it's the
problem,
Sam.
I'm here to tell you, forget about Viagra, forget about salads, forget about dick and plants and all that stuff. So I don't know if you believe me or not,
God damn it,
but if
man.
you like to see me smoke some meth with a small limp dick that doesn't get hard any other way and watch it get harder and harder, the more I smoke, the harder my dick gets. It's unbelievable.
First of all, he's making edits on this video.
Oh, you know what's interesting? Every time someone new comes and sees it, they add a layer. You're right.
But can we go back
This
to
is
Christina's?
clearly a halfway house.
Can we go?
I have a relative, my cousin's in one. This is like a halfway house right here.
Do you
Clearly.
want to go back to Christina's last point of what great framing and
It's all there, man. These guys are all
the camera's
ticking the
got to
boxes,
be
man.
under your face, under your chin.
Is a layer
there.
is a layer in the criteria? Is it also a ridiculous ask? Because this guy's like, you want to see me smoke meth with a little dick and then it get harder and harder every puff I take like a choo-choo train. The other guy's like, if you just want to send me some pussy shots and panty shots. It's always a ridiculous ask.
You're right.
Yes.
That's
Gotta add that to
really
the
important.
box.
that's actually probably the
Production value, because there's edits.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
ridiculous. You're right. The ask should probably be near the top.
Yeah. But wait, here's the best part. As ridiculous as that is,
You're
Which
right,
one?
right.
This one?
this this was the lowest, this is the least ridiculous point of this video. Let me continue playing this for you.
Oh boy.
Okay, you won't believe how good it feels. If you're straight, you won't believe how good it feels. Your dickhead becomes so sensitive that you don't need lube, you don't need spit. You just stroke that dickhead this up and down 4 times. Just let him do it, and you'll shoot an enormous amount of very thick, hot white cum.
This guy's not a veteran at this. He's a veteran. Like, that's how deep he is.
Yeah.
4 times. He
Yeah.
knows all the steps.
Wait, hold on. You haven't even heard the best
More
part.
cum than I've ever did in my life. And I know I'm gay. I love to get blowjobs. And I tell you what, I cannot wait when I'm so fucked up and hot and horny on meth. I let anybody give me a blowjob.
That's nice. Anybody can do it.
I mean, he's friendly about it.
Well, here's the best part.
My brother didn't believe me. But when he smoked with me, he put out his dick. I couldn't believe how big his dick was. He jacked off in 4 strokes and shot the most cum he's ever shot in his life. He's only 49, and he's fine. He has no neuropathy problems at all. But his dick
Got a lot of other
harder and thicker and even more cum. He believes me now.
He believes me now. This guy just told the world his brother smoked meth with him, whipped his dick out, and shot a load bigger than he's ever has in all 49 of his years. That's unbelievable.
Are you going to do that with your brother?
I can't wait. I can't wait for Christmas.
Your
Come on,
dick
we got
will
something
get
else to
hard.
do now.
So if you want to see me go from a limp dick to a hard dick,
No, thanks.
I will do it this weekend, and I'll videotape
We
it.
got it.
From just a small dick.
We get it.
He's using a phone.
Why does he have
still
to-
saying videotape.
Harder and harder.
I'm
That's
a
the proven fact.
videotape
All right,
it.
let me know doesn't bother me a bit. If you say yes, I'll show it to you.
Okie dokie. Like, why does he have to keep reiterating?
Meanwhile,
reminding you.
he's in a halfway house, and just off camera, there's somebody over here playing solitaire on a cot. Somebody over here has got some pea soup. I know exactly
and
what's
they're
going
not
on in
even-
that room.
they're not
They don't even give a
phased. They're
fuck. They're like, whatever. Larry's at it again.
He's talking about coming a lot and his 4 strokes.
I was back in Baltimore for my shows this weekend, and I went to a Ravens game. And, we make fun of the Baltimore accent all the time. And I heard so many really good just one-liners, but with that accent. But the one that stood out to me was this guy. We're all in line at the urinal, and it's like 5-6 people deep, each one of them. There's always the one guy. He's entertaining the whole bathroom, and he starts talking about, if you had to, would you eat your own dick? And that's
in the bathroom.
This is the question he presents to a public men's restroom, and everybody, this area, this corner where he is over here, they're all starting to talk about it. And one guy's like, first thing in my mouth ain't gonna be my own dick. I got 2 pinky toes and 1 dick, and I'm gonna eat my pinky toes first. So they keep going. And he's like, I'm asking a buddy of mine, if we gotta die, you gotta eat me. He's like, I ain't eating you. And finally, this one salty dude in the back gets tired of it. And he just goes, put your dick away and move on. I started fucking laughing so goddamn hard, dude. Put your dick away. He's up there all talking to people, and he's like, put your dick away and move on.
Move on.
On's two syllables.
Oh,
On.
say, can you see?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
By the dawn's early white.
Can I tell you what really bothers me about the 4-stroke guy? Is that he has to talk
Wait,
about...
something bothers you about this guy?
that he has to keep saying, if you want to go from just a little limp dick to a hard
Over
dick.
and over.
He says it
Yeah.
like fucking 10 times.
Because he's actually trying to see who's excited about it,
Oh, he's throwing
do you
it
want to
out.
see it get hard? And because there's guys out there who are like,
Fuck yeah, there are.
I love seeing hard dicks.
Yes. And also, my little dick, I want it to get hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Have we now to make sense of that? I
Gosh.
want to show you the submissions so badly. So
I'm so disconnected from
Are you
it.
familiar with
don't
this,
understand.
Ryan? Are you familiar with?
Good morning, Julia.
I mean, so far I'm 0 for here, and that sounds like we're going to be consistent here.
Did you
Let's hear this.
you heard that? Did you know what that was?
It's me, Joe.
You know what that
It's
is?
Joe, isn't it?
But do you know who this is?
Good morning, Julia.
Is this the Try It guy?
No. Okay, fantastic. So he has no idea. So let me just give you a little background. So we were actually supposed to, for people that don't know, we were actually going to talk to her last week.
Julia?
Julia.
Yes.
Okay.
But the fires created like kind of, this hazard. We kind of left here on a different
Yeah,
day.
I'm
It
glad
screwed
you
it
guys
up.
are okay.
We're going to have her on, hopefully, I'll say hopefully, next week. We actually found Julia. Julia is a young lady who one day had an encounter with this individual. And the next day, and by the way, she wasn't like, what are you doing? Like, I'd like to talk to you more. She just met this dude. And then
Like where, do you know?
I believe the
At the
story
gym.
at the gym.
So a public place.
Yeah, the story what was being passed around was that she met him at a bar, and she let me know. She goes, "That's not true. I didn't meet him at a bar." She said, "I'll give you the full story." And I was told that the correct story is that they go to the same gym, and he just happened to pick up on her name and somehow got her info. She spoke to him like, "Hey, how's it going?" at the gym, and then next day opens her phone and gets this on her phone.
Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Just wanted to say hi. Wish you a great day. Tell you that meeting you yesterday and getting a look at you was probably one of the greatest moments of my life. You were so beautiful. You don't know how beautiful you are to me. I mean, just, you're gorgeous. You're precious.
It's a little much.
But it's
Yeah.
been sitting in my mind when you said to me you want to go back with your ex-boyfriend. Please erase him from your memory. Don't ever go back in the past. I know, because I've
knows.
been there. And I understand when
He's holding on to that
you're trying
haircut
to find
from the
somebody
past.
and you go on dates and nothing compares to your ex. But there is that better person out there. And Julia, I promise you it is me. I will love you like you've never been loved before.
What?
I'll cherish you. I'll make you feel like a woman, a real woman. And believe me, after you experience me, you won't even know who your ex-boyfriend is. Open up your heart to me in your arms,
And your arms.
And your arms.
Let's go full throttle.
Waiting for
You
legs.
could see me falling in love with you.
Let's go full throttle.
I don't know. I just looked in your eyes and I just melt.
Full throttle. And this is someone he just met, keep in mind.
I mean,
a day earlier.
a day
Yeah.
before. The day before.
So she gave her
Anyhow,
his, or
I've had
she
it all-
gave
We
him
don't
her
know
number.
yet.
I don't think
We
so.
don't know.
Cute little home.
I mean, a normal guy like this wouldn't do anything shady, like pay to find out what her number was. He would just. I'm sure she did.
The story.
Fine.
I hate continue. I don't want to spread misinformation because we were about to get the full story from her, but somebody who said that they were friends with her said that he even discovered her name by the sign-in sheet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
So,
it's
like- Yeah.
how did this video get out though? He sent it to her and she posted it.
No, she shared it with friends,
and
She
then
was like-
someone in that
Yes.
circle put
started,
it where
started to share it more. No, just send it to their friends.
it literally this went viral
This went
from
viral
that one
from a
woman
text.
saying, "Look
Yeah,
at the
look
dude
at
I
this
met
guy."
at the gym."
Yes.
And then it got sent to us.
Well,
and-
actually, to be fair,
Yeah.
BuzzFeed, I didn't know this at all. Because, things get so big on the
Yeah,
internet.
so fast,
The internet's so much
too,
bigger
right.
than us. You can latch onto something a couple of years. This had a life, I think, on BuzzFeed a few
Oh
years
my
ago.
God,
Oh,
this
years ago.
A
poor
couple,
guy.
like 2016, let's say. And so, but I mean, it got some notoriety and then it died down. We discovered this, I don't know, a couple
month
months
ago,
ago.
yeah.
I mean, it's new to us.
Has anyone contacted this dude?
Well, I don't know. I mean, now tell me this if you're like me,
So
because we've shown this to a couple people now. Don't you feel like as a guy, there's the part of your brain that identifies with what he's doing? Like, I feel embarrassment for him because I go, you don't feel embarrassment for him? No?
Oh, I feel embarrassment for
Yeah.
him. I'm thinking about your question. Is
Well,
there-
it's like, that like you've met someone who you're like, I wish I could, whatever. Like you met someone, you want to send them a message, but your brain goes, not this. Don't put out too much. Like hold back. Like your own instincts tell you, if don't go over the top with like, oh my God, I love you, because that's crazy to do. And it's like he doesn't have that part that goes. For him, it's like just put it all out there. Open
Yeah.
up your heart.
She's gonna love this.
She's
if I'm
gonna
just who
love
I
it.
am.
Exactly.
That's what everybody loves about me. That's why I live alone with 3 fucking ceiling fans. Go back. He's
The
got 2 in the
fan.
kitchen
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and some lighting. He's got a lot of
Wow.
shit on the
Wait,
ceilings
hold
here.
on.
This is my cute little home.
Oh, thank
everything
God.
you see behind me.
Everything.
I built everything. Every square inch, from crown molding to chair rail to floors
Square
to lighting
inch.
to plumbing, doors, windows.
He built plumbing.
So this is the type of guy you're getting. I'm a very handy guy, and I'd love to build you whatever you want.
Anything.
How about a
You're a
future?
sweetheart. So I hope this video doesn't scare you, but that's how
He
I
knows.
feel.
Everybody else is
knows.
fucking
He knows.
scared. Of course he
He
does.
knows.
Okay, and I look forward going out to dinner with you.
All right.
So let's make it happen. Mwah.
Oh,
Ciao, baby.
Chow be double negative on the sign off.
He knows. And
He slipped on the
he
diving
knows.
board, hit his head, and fell in. 2 of them on the way out of that
He
dive.
knows.
Oh,
he knows
of course
it's
he
fucked up
does.
to do it, and then he's doing it anyway.
You know why?
Why?
Because he ran this by a bunch of people first, and they
No.
all said, "Don't fucking do it." Like 3 people.
right. Like his
three
guy
three
friends,
guy
yeah.
friends. He was like, "What do you guys know? You're fucking single. I'm sitting here talking to you idiots. I'm doing it. Look."
Well, now I'm so happy I can show
Can
you
I
this.
can I tell you something though? I have a lot more sympathy for him right now.
Why?
Like I just feel every time I see it, I feel worse and worse for him. You know what I mean? Because I get the impulse, like we
Because
talked
he's
about.
single. He's still single.
Yeah, because like I see the desperation and like he wants so badly to have love,
Yeah.
and he just doesn't know that you got to be cool in the beginning about it.
But see, that's the thing is he thinks that is cool. Fuck. But here's the other thing. Again, hang on.
Just want to say good morning,
This is her to her again.
my flower.
Please say it's the next
precious.
day. Yeah.
My soon to
Son
be
up.
my
You couldn't wait.
everything.
My soon to be my everything.
Have a great day, love. Mwah.
That's even that now it's getting
What's he
weird.
driving there?
You
A
still
fucking
feel bad?
package truck? What's he in
Now
that?
it's getting weird.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't
The
know.
first video is excusable. The second one, when then she doesn't respond, is
Yeah.
like, oh,
She might have been busy,
okay.
Christina.
But now,
Oh,
what do you do? You know.
and that's how he's thinking.
that is right. Now, how do you
Yeah.
feel about this, though?
Oh Christ!
Morning, Julia. Needless to say, Julia, the last 3 months have been pretty hard.
I love it.
Julia, I turned into an internet starring.
Wait, is that really him?
No.
I was gonna say.
People are just sending in
Yeah,
versions.
okay. I was gonna say he went like the
down
shit. This guy's a busted eye.
College Town. I met another girl, Julia. Her name is Trisha. Good morning, Trisha. Anyway, Trisha's boyfriend, he's big.
I'm getting sick. He's
Things went full throttle. The hand is healing.
Full throttle.
It's a full break. Julia.
What you need right now, Julia? A full
Texting
break.
me. I took down all the cramoling, Julia. I got rid of everything, Julia.
The fans
I
are
took
gone.
The fans down. Got rid of everything. Full throttle. Threw it out in the garbage, Julia. I lost
What do you lose?
73 pounds. Julia, Shmoya. Julia, Trulia.
Trulia. This guy nailed it right here. Oh, me too. This guy's killing it.
Give me a
He's
call.
got black eye. Look at his eye. It's all
Is
fucked
that
up.
real?
It's been there too. It's starting to yellow and shit.
I saw your name on the cup.
On the cup?
So much to me.
Is that how he saw it too? A cup?
Come over, fucking piss on me. Try it out.
That's the one I know.
Oh, man.
Man, I gotta tell you, our listeners are so goddamn funny. The stuff that, like, even just on Instagram, the photoshops we've been getting of Garth and of you, Tom.
Yeah,
and
your
me.
Garth Brooks shit is. I know someone in his team has had to be like Garth. I'm a Garth Brooks fan. Like, legit, I am a Garth Brooks fan.
You are?
You
But I
are?
also am a fan. I am, but I also
never knew that about you.
Oh, I love Shameless. I love Much Too Young to Be This Damn Old. I like those Garth
What about
Brooks
Chris
songs.
Gaines?
Chris Gaines. I don't dislike Chris Gaines.
Are you serious?
No, I dislike
I
Chris.
thought I knew you.
I don't like his alter ego. But I do like his haircut.
That's cute. He actually looks
emo,
cute.
The emo
yeah,
haircut
I like
looks
it.
good on Chris
I like the
Gaines.
goth.
Dude, let
goth.
me. I got to get
But,
back.
Garth.
But there's no way he hasn't heard this something yet.
No, he's got.
dude.
Wait, hold on. Can we address something
What?
quickly before we move along? Is that the last time we recorded this show, we were under threat
Oh, yeah. We're
Yeah,
such
fires.
assholes.
of fires, and
Sorry.
just let's kind of.
Because it was a real panic.
Yeah, can we address that with the audience?
Well, yeah, of course.
I feel like we just.
We're all over the place. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry guys. We've been recording this out of sequence. That's why. But just so you know, obviously we're back. Everything's fine. It was a little bit of chaos for a moment.
It was a panic, and
It
we
was
were
terrible.
and we live fairly close to like for instance, an exit. One exit past us, two exits past us was shut down, and it
Yeah.
was coming like
And the
this
wind was
way.
moving it.
Oh, and
Were you officially in evacuation?
No. we had a voluntary, so they
Yeah.
were, but they weren't like you have to. But I mean, this neighborhood basically emptied out. You know,
Well, and if you wait for them to tell you to go,
Yeah.
it's too
Oh,
late.
it's
You
too
don't have
fucking late.
time.
Yeah, they don't
and they're
care.
babies. We got like
We have babies.
Yeah.
too young, man.
And Tom travels and stuff. I was like, let's just fucking go.
I know.
Anyways,
so the amount
we're
of
back.
relief I saw on her face when I was like, yeah, let's just go. She was like, oh,
Well, there was raining down ashes, and it was really smoky too. Anyway, we're back.
We're back,
We're
yeah.
fine.
Thanks for your
Everything's
concern.
fine, and thank you for all your kind tweets and your comments and stuff.
this is what's hilarious.
It's scary.
So we're back.
I was in that one right there in the canyon where you used to live.
Uh-huh.
Remember that one
Yeah.
caught on fire early in the year, and
Yeah.
we got the it was like an Amber Alert style text on blasted on our phones that said you are officially on the line of evacuation. It's a voluntary one, but if it creeps any farther south of like Sunset, then you have to go. And it was ash everywhere, and we got out of it.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
scary.
go.
scary.
That lady,
Just go.
it looked like Armageddon going through there.
Joe's was mandatory, and here's what's crazy: neighbors of his, their house burned down.
It did?
Uh-huh. But he also had neighbors that stayed home, and I'm like,
What?
dude? I'm like, if multiple houses are burning down, he's like, there's neighbors that are like, yeah, I'm just sticking it out.
I didn't even tell you today. I took our tiny jeans to the doctor today for his 4-month
Yeah.
appointment. Driving up north, I haven't driven. It's all black.
Yeah.
Everything's burned up, man, and houses and everything's just gone. It's fucking crazy. It's like the
Yeah.
apocalypse going north from here. So
It's really scary.
and it's exactly like 2 exits. Anyways, we're here.
So this is Garth's Instagram,
I know. I've been on it.
but I'm just showing.
Loving
like,
it.
So like you open it, look at the comments. It's
Full throttle.
Yeah, it's full throttle.
Mommy's all over the place.
Oh, really? Thanks so much for. Here's my new fan page. Sorry, The G is going full.
full
Let's
throttle.
let's get physical.
Playing
Playing music. I like that.
I
G's
love
up. It's just been.
We've infiltrated.
Oh yeah.
Garth's socials.
you're way deep.
Come
in
later
that
for
shit.
moose soup.
That's the best part about our fans
I
is that
know.
they infiltrate.
They get, like,
Your fans are.
every-
Let me tell you, your fans have been super supportive of me and my
course.
podcast and this album. And I still, from time to time, am asked if I really ate Hillary Clinton's asshole.
Really?
I swear to God, I still get, yo, did you really eat Hillary Clinton's ass?
Look at this.
People ask me that.
On Garth's page. Have you ever had the desire to call Hung in Philly on stage and have her blast a fart in your face? This is to Garth Brooks.
There's nothing they can do with that either.
No, there's nothing they could do.
That shit is on there.
No. He is.
Blast a fart in your face while he's at the concert.
the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have taken over his page, and it
God.
couldn't make me happier.
I know, me too.
Hilarious.
Let me see.
Me
here.
too. Nothing gives me joy like this form.
Jeans up. Here you go.
Right there at the
A
top.
nice smile, Garth. I know that they're all saying it from here. Nope.
Look
you
at all
suck.
those jeans.
Tom, they're asking me, like, do you want to sign up? They're all like tagging me in all his shit now.
Uh-oh.
It's fucking. I don't know. I love it.
I love it too.
'Cause
Studio.
yeah, you're right. Somebody like in his marketing team's like,
Definitely. There's someone paid
my
to
God.
read that.
What if we could get
like-
Garth Brooks to call in on the show? You know, we got Gloria Stefan to call
I know,
in
you guys did
because
do that.
of our bombardment on Twitter.
do you
the
think
mommy's
Garth
got her.
would be like, hey, I don't kill people like you guys say I do?
I don't know. Maybe we could start a campaign.
Maybe.
What do you think?
I mean, this is kind of its own campaign right here.
Good morning, Julia.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making this video so that when you wake up this morning in the trunk of my car, you don't freak out too much. Because I just need you to know, just like I fix my house, I fix your water heater, I'm gonna fix you too. And if you keep making noise back there, I'm gonna drive this full throttle
So funny.
Toby.
Hey, Julia.
The ceiling fan store. This guy wins already.
Last night was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Greater than that time I went to Motley Crue and got to sit front row in 1987. I want to care for you. I want to cherish you. I want to varnish you and keep you in my remodeled house. Never, ever let go of you. As you can see,
Oh, my God.
I remodel a lot. I have lots of ventilation in this whole place. And just think, you'll never think of your ex again for the rest of your life. So come be with me, Julia. I open up your heart to me, Julia. Open up your heart, or I'll open it up for you as we go full throttle up in here. We'll go full throttle all the way. Love ya, Julia.
Got a sponsor ad in this.
He's got full throttle with him.
Yeah.
He's drinking.
Good
cam-
afternoon, Julie. I just want to say it was one of the most beautiful times in my life hanging out with you last night. So I just want to show you here. This is my
face
school. I built it all myself.
He built the
all the sand over here. I put in the whole playground. I planted the trees. That's the kind of guy you're gonna get. So I can't wait to take you to dinner tomorrow at Bonnie's. Let's do it. Let's go full throttle. All right. Mwah.
Mwah.
He did that kiss.
The kiss.
Andre.
Oh my God, my face hurts. Mwah.
So funny.
Morning,
The kiss.
Julia. It's me, Joe. I just wanted to say that conversation that we had the other night was the best 23 minutes of my life. And from then on, I knew that you and I were meant to be together. Now, I could see myself bringing you around when I'm with the boys, maybe introducing you to the 7th floor crew. Like that. You see this light? I installed it myself. And sometimes when I sit and stare at it for hours on end, it just reminds me of me and you. Turned on and lights up my life.
Oh God.
I'll let you make the distinction of who's who.
He does a
Let's
great
go full
impression,
throttle.
actually.
Yeah.
He sounds
the
just like him.
earnest and the oh my God.
Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Just wanted to say hi. Wish you a great day.
And just want to let you know that meeting you yesterday and getting a look at you.
This is great framing.
First of all, it looks like it is 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Like it looks like he's literally doing this in the morning.
It is, right?
So precious. And it's just been sitting in my mind.
Brake lights
said you
lighting
wanted
up
to go
his
back
face
with your
and shit.
ex-boyfriend. Just erase him from your memory. You're never gonna see him again. He's in my trunk. He's dead. That's the type of guy you get.
That's the type of guy you get.
I love
and
that. That's
the fan
Gavin.
store is still my favorite one.
Yeah, it is. That's
in
the winner.
score.
One last one here for today.
100 fans.
This is, I know. Here's Matthew.
Oh my God.
Morning, Julia.
He's got one. He's got
Just
one.
want to check in on you. Hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to say,
God, his house
getting
looks
to meet
like it.
you last night was one of the best days of my life. You're so beautiful, Julia. And any thoughts of getting back with your ex, just put that out of your head. You can forget he
There it
ever
is, another
existed.
photo. He backed in so you could
Mainly
see it.
'cause
That's
he's chopped
nice.
up in a black hefty bag in my garage. A garage I built myself, by the way. Everything from the crown molding to the
Another
floors.
one. He's hitting
I keep
y'all.
you nice and cool with my ceiling fans going full throttle. If you give me a chance, Julia, I love you like I loved before. Okay, let's do this thing. And please ignore any pictures of my wedding day or anything has to do with my wife, because I'll fucking kill her too if you say, okay, Julia? Mwah.
Oh my God, this has gone to another level now.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God, these are getting better.
Those
and
good
better
morning
and better.
Julias. Oh, man.
Ah, I love our audience so much for these.
That is so fucking funny.
I know. It starts as a seed and then it grows.
Oh, my
But
God.
also, the guy in the fan store is in a public place doing that.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like a manager could walk by and be like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? That's so good.
Crown mold.
Crown mold.
Jesus Christ. Oldest back here.
But the life that this had on BuzzFeed didn't have this life.
No,
Like
no.
that- There's been no pulse for 2 years, and all of a sudden you all just fucking Frankenstein this motherfucker.
Well, that's why she reached out. She was just
Yeah,
like,
hey, I thought this was in my
I thought this was over.
I thought this shit was behind me. You're like, hi, Julia.
She seems so nice.
She seems.
That's why he probably
lovely.
fell for. All these guys love her.
Well, what happened was, I'll tell you what happened. I bet you he said something. She's like one of those sincere, nice people who was like, hi,
Yeah,
and made eye contact and saw him and was like, smiled. And he was like, this is my wife right here. I'm going to make this lady my wife. She just paid attention to me, like really gave me
Right.
A normal mistake, I'm going to make sure I clarify that. Normal mistake would be like, because I've made that mistake too when someone's been overly friendly and I'm like,
Yeah.
But as far as I'll go is to offer my number.
Yeah.
I don't ever ask for theirs. I give mine. If you want to call, you call. If you don't, you're going to get the fucking point. You don't. If she never calls, you don't fucking send videos. You know what I'm saying? Like the normal, I think, again, it's a mistake. That's a lot of times, like with a waitress especially, their job is to be flirty
yes.
and
Oh, yeah.
be overly friendly
Yeah.
and touchy and all
Right.
that shit.
Especially Hooters. That's their job.
Yeah.
We have a friend that used to go there quite a lot.
At Hooters?
Yeah, 3 of them. He was very close to you.
Do I
He
know
lived
it?
with you.
Oh yeah. It's true. He did.
He was a regular.
He was. He had a table, man. What are you talking about? He had regular titties.
He was.
They came over.
He was the guy, and there's guys like this who like I'm the type of person who resents the overly friendly waitress in a place like where I know they're coached to do it. I'm like, I stop smiling because I feel like it's so contrived. You know what I mean?
It's inauthentic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like when they're like, "Hope you," and then smiley face on the thing, I'm like, all right. Like I'm not a sucker. Like stop.
Well, the Hooters girl is trained
that's what I'm saying.
to treat you like a sucker.
Dressed like they're to fucking treat you like a sucker.
But
Yeah.
he's the guy. Our friend is the guy who's like, I think that chick really likes.
He's
me."
Captain
When you're
Save-A-Ho.
like-
That's who he
You're
is.
like,
Yeah.
dude, that she's trained to do that. He's like, no.
No,
Like,
not for
she,
me.
She put her hand on my arm and
Yeah.
she told me if I was. She's like, you look happy today or you look sad today. I was going to cheer you up. I'm like, that's all coached. You don't know that that's coached.
Wait, now that's a question. Now hold on. So this mutual friend, because that seems to me to be the guy that's prone to making the Good Morning Julia videos, is a guy that
Yeah,
misreads the
100%.
signs. So
Yeah.
did this guy kind of overstep recording boundaries? I don't know. I just
A
don't know.
lot,
Oh,
yeah. multiple times.
Yeah.
So many times. I don't know how much I should
Well,
or
let's
shouldn't
not-
say,
let's
to be
not
honest,
then-
because you know.
Right.
But yes, well, I'll tell this story. There was one time where he went into the back of LA Weekly and found a masseuse. And then he hit me up and he's like, got a masseuse coming over tonight. I'm like, a masseuse, huh? Yeah, my neck and back have been bothering me. I'm like, a house masseuse, huh? Makes house calls? Yeah, so if you hear the door, just, let her in. I'm like, okay. And then she knocks on the door and I open it up and she's like, hi. And I'm like, are you the masseuse? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, where's your table? Where's your chair?
No.
Where's your oil? Where's your towel? You don't even have a fanny pack on. Like, I've had massages. And she's like, oh, and he's like, stop. It's okay.
Stop it.
So he lets her in.
Right now.
Yeah, he lets her in. And he, spends a few hours. And then she leaves. And no. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
She doesn't leave. He sends her into my room to take a shower. So I had left. I come back and I'm like, hey, who's in my shower? He's like, oh, the masseuse. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? I go, dude, that's basically a prostitute, okay? No, she's nice. I go, there's a lot of nice prostitutes. I go, but my wallet and shit are like, what are you doing?
It's
Like,
your bathroom.
that's my room.
Yeah,
Like,
but why
all my
does it-
personal.
why couldn't she
He had a
shower in his
bathroom.
What? Because he didn't want her dirty ass in there, So I go, hey, I'm beating on my door like, yo, you got to wrap that shit up and get out. Got to get out of my bathroom. He's like, don't be like that to her. He's like, she's not like that. I go, you just spent an hour and a half with this woman in your room getting a massage. What do you mean you don't know a fucking thing about her? So I do a show one night. This is back in the Ontario days when you would drive out and back and out and back. And on that Saturday night, remember you did an 11 o'clock show and I was middling. So I'm not getting home until 1:30, 2 o'clock, And I'm always on an adrenaline high. I can't fall asleep right away. So I'm watching some TV, and it's about 3:30 in the morning at this point, and I see this bedroom light turn on, and I hear two voices. I'm like, oh, well, good for him. He got laid. And the door opens up, and here comes the masseuse. I go, and I go, what the fuck are you doing? Well, I go, how much did that cost you right now? She didn't charge me. I go, bullshit. She just wants to get to know me. I go, that's it.
So does the Hooters.
Yeah. He paid a fuckload. Okay. I was at a strip club with him one night.
Wait, but he did pay her. Wait, so you found out that he did pay
that
her.
woman's not coming over for 5 hours for free.
The better one.
The strip club?
The strip club one was him going to a strip club multiple nights. We're like, are you going back to the strip club? Yeah. And then he's like, it sounds like a Good Morning Julia thing where Ryan's like, how much money have you spent at the strip club? And he's like, in the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's where he had to, if you have to ask if there's a clarifier.
He's like $800.
Oh my
What?
God.
And then he was like, beat. But this girl really likes me.
Oh,
He
no.
really 100%.
I went a couple times with him, and he's like, I'm gonna go in the back with this girl. I'm like, okay, and you just go get a, you go get a lap dance or whatever. But those girls will fucking be straight up with you, like for a couple bucks, we can work some shit out. So he was gone. I mean, it was a while. And then finally I was like, well, fuck this. This is how long he was gone. He was gone for like 30 minutes. And I was just sitting in a strip club by myself, which I always think is creepy anyway. So I'm like, well, fuck, I got a joint in the car. So I go out to the parking lot. I smoke an entire joint by myself. Okay, I'm out there for a good 20, 30 minutes. I go back in. He's still not back. What? And then when he finally does show up like another 30 minutes later, he comes from behind me. And I know that's where the ATM is. And I go, what the fuck, man? I said, I thought maybe you crossed the line and they were back there fucking you up. I didn't know, but I can't get back there. I didn't know what was going on. Didn't hear from you. Well, here's what happened. She likes me. No. He said that he can't come from head. So he's paying for a blowjob, but he can't tell her, hey, this doesn't really work on me. So he's being overly polite, letting her do this because he doesn't want to stop her. What he forgets is that you also have to, you're paying for the dance per song.
Right.
He's back there for like 6 fucking songs more. So he's paying the dance plus fees.
He jacked off in 4 strokes.
Yeah, why didn't he just jack off? I don't know. That's
He didn't
too.
smoke meth, I
I'm
guess.
looking into it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
wait.
you should ask him. Hey, can we pull up his?
That's what it was. It was like a $1,200 night.
Oh my god!
He forgot about the fucking.
I have
Oh
I forget who it was
God.
that told me. I don't know if somebody we all know. Somebody told me a story about being at a strip club.
I got to be a stripper.
I know, being at a strip club and talking to somebody, like talking to the girl,
Yeah.
just like I'm here, you're there.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it just went on and on, just kept talking. And then after 20 or 30 minutes, he was like, all right, it's going to go over here now and talk to somebody else. And they're like, whoa. The girl's like, you owe me like $600 because that was like 6 songs. And he was like, I didn't.
For talking?
Yeah.
That's
I
the
didn't
hustle.
know that.
Well, for her time.
Right.
Correct, I understand,
She
but-
was saying,
Time's money.
She was saying that it was that he was talking to her in an area.
That's the.
That was-
I see.
Oh, he was in the bullpen.
He was in the bull. Like if he talked to her over there,
Yeah, it's all right.
It's up to her.
It's up to her.
But
I
he was
see.
over here, and that means you're.
Wow.
And he got like then security. He's like, I'm not paying you a fucking dime.
Well, it's not fair if you're not made aware of that policy beforehand, is it? I mean,
well,
that's
of course not.
Cool.
I mean, yeah. If it's arranged, then it's arranged. and
Yeah,
you're paying
she
for
should tell him, "Hey, dude, do you mind? This is what the deal is."
This is a money seat.
Yeah.
This girl likes me.
So
He would have conversations. He got to know all their real names, which, by the way, isn't their real name. They've got
right.
3. I'm
Right.
Tyson. Okay,
Right.
what's your real name? Chanel. It's
Right.
probably Jennifer.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
It's none of those. And he would tell them all the time. His line was, "You're better than this." He would say that to these girls, and they were like, "No, I'm not. I'm making a ton of fucking
I have
money,
a
and I'm
great
putting myself
life,
through
right.
school. Like,
Right.
I want to do this."
Yeah, it's
I wanna
voluntary.
he wants to save everyone.
This
you
is
know?
a perfect time to say I got a message this week from the stripper that emailed. Hey, Tom, I'm a huge fan of yours and Christina's. I'm a stripper. I really love your comments on these weird try it out type guys. I have a story for you guys. This past weekend, I had a customer come in who was really into castration. And I was wearing a plaid outfit. I guess this will make sense. He ended up getting a lap dance. But a lap dance is not what he wanted. He laid on the floor in the lap dance room, asked me to stomp on his balls with my sharp stripper heels.
Great.
While role-playing as a farm girl who's going to castrate her least favorite bull.
Okay.
I wish I had a video of this conversation.
So do I.
So do I.
That sounds
Unbelievable.
amazing.
That's
I would
layered
love
as
to
fuck,
hear.
isn't it?
So I love that, by the way. Good for her. See, that's why it's good to be a stripper. She didn't have to have sex with him, right? She said
No,
to crush his nuts.
Yeah,
It's great.
she stomped on his nuts.
That's what I'm always saying is like the fart videos, the nut crushing stuff. That's easy money. That's money on the table if you're a woman and not doing those things. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind the guy that does the Good Morning Julia and the $1,200 stripper. What's going on with him? You started to say a little bit that you think he wants to rescue these girls.
Yeah, I think that makes him feel good. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the other thing. It's complex because after that night, after he was in the back, that was the first time he'd been with someone. He got in the car and he just took a deep breath and he looked at me. He started getting a teary-eyed. He's like, I think she was a prostitute. I said, she what? You gave her money for a sexual favor. Like, she's a prostitute. That's the definite. And he was upset with himself.
Oh, right. He was
because he felt he was better than that. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, now he's putting it off like, no, I'm better than that. I'm now one of those people. I'm like, they're the people you shit on all the time. That's who you are, you know?
Yeah.
But I really do think that particular person we're talking about, and this guy too, here's what he's saying. Look at all I can do. I can provide for you. I can take care of you. I can protect you. I can love you like no one else ever has. And I know that because I saw your name on a cup.
I like you.
Do you have a dental update, Gene?
I've actually been doing all right.
Let me see. No, I think they're a little yellowy. Have you been brushing?
Yeah, I've been brushing.
I'll tell you a dental update for a 2-year-old. I took him to the dentist last time, and the lady goes, the dentist goes, you need to start flossing. I go, flossing my 2-year-old? She goes, yeah. I go, well, how do you suggest I do that? She goes, well, I hold my son down. I just hold him down and he screams and I just go ahead and floss as he screams. I'm like, I'm pretty sure
cool.
that's not
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do
traumatize
it.
your children.
That first dentist visit was horrific.
I know.
Where he laid in like the tech's lap with it. He was like, ah!
They
That's
hate
how
it.
it was for me too.
They hate it.
But our dentist office has. That's how we found the movie Trolls. I'd never seen it before.
Oh, okay.
They lay the chair back and they put a TV on the ceiling so
Smart.
the kids can watch some
I bet
shit
we
up
could do
here.
it now. Yeah.
And she was not having that either.
How
By
are
the
your
way,
teeth? Huh.
yeah, how are your teeth?
I mean, I've been the Cal Ripken of good teeth for years and years, guys. I've had my
See?
Let me see. Yeah, they're nice.
I didn't get my first. Now look, there was a lot of work done to them, but I didn't get my first cavity until I'm 45, 42.
God, you're old.
You're 45?
Yep.
Bert's like 6 years older than you.
Kreischer?
Yeah.
He looks it.
Yeah.
But you're like 15 older than all of us. Coming up on 60, plate.
Do you think I look like OC guy or Cholo with my flannel? Christina's.
You know, I saw your post the other
Yeah,
day.
it's kind of fucked up.
I'm gonna go OC guy.
Thank you.
With a black on black truck with blacked out windows.
Yes.
And black rims.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a Raptor.
Yeah. Like a Ford Raptor, a Tahoe or something.
A
Tahoe.
One of those desert trucks that you can tow your motorcycles out to the dunes.
Right.
Yeah, one
That's
of those guys.
he goes to the Salton Sea.
Yeah.
Come over for the queue, dog.
You probably got
dog.
really long shorts and socks. You probably got this much skin showing on your leg.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you smoke a lot of reefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drink a lot of like energy drinks and shit.
Oh my God. Yeah, they love energies. Hold on, I
But-
want to bring up one thing before we go
Okay.
forwards. This is kind of a
Yeah.
mid-roll. Our dear friend, you know him, Eric Lundy. Remember
course, yeah.
Lundy? This guy I used to write cartoons with back. He and I used to work, writing children's stuff together for years. Anyways, he moved back to Kansas City and for the last few years has been working on a comic called Hollow Leg. And he spent years.
It's crazy how dedicated this guy is to this. I mean, I'm serious. The level of the time and commitment and the artistic craft building a comic book catalog.
Oh, he has an enormous.
He's a fantastic artist. He just hit me up today,
artist.
actually.
But this would be the equivalent, literally, if you've been like, I've done stand up for years, and you're like, yeah, and be like, well, I never said anything till now, but I have 19 albums ready.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
I'm serious.
That's how he is.
It's like
I got
that.
19 box set.
That's
I
how he
mean,
is.
it's
true.
that much. He
Yeah.
has built. If you go check out his thing, you're not going to see like, oh, this is a cool picture. Maybe I'll give him a shot. He actually has the content ready to go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he sent me stuff over the years. I love his stuff.
And here's the best part about Eric. He was a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
So he comes from our world. He's a fantastic writer, and he taught himself how to draw.
It's unreal.
I didn't know that.
He's self-taught, and he did it all in the last few years, and he's been working and working. Anyways, he's finally launched his brand new app, and I encourage you all to try it out, check it out. He's also a mommy. He listens to this show, so hey, Eric, shout out to the peeps.
Hi, Lunderpants.
It's called HollowLegComics.com, right? Hollow Leg Comics. He's on Twitter, Hollow Leg Comics, Instagram, and you can download the app on iTunes right now. So check it out, HollowLegComics.com. Shout out to Eric Lundy.
Amazing.
Boo.
Congrats.
And he just got a dog.
Oh, yeah.
More important, he just got a dog.
I should plug the sale. It's the holiday sale. It's Thanksgiving week, Black Friday.
Jeez.
Here it is. Here's some of the online stuff that's coming for this year. It's already moving. The first item will definitely sell out by the weekend. So Jesus Wore Jeans is our holiday sweater. Jesus Wore Jeans t-shirt. There's a stocking and ornament. And then there's Santa Claus stuff, Christmas stuff. And then we move into Christina's new Ride or Die stuff. The Piss on Me shirt, home here now. Try it out. It's just all there. So here's the deal. If you want 15% off, use the code TOM, F-R-I, Tom, like for Friday, at checkout. That's merchmethod.com/Tom Segura. And it's all there now. And the Christmas sale's going. And this year we're going to be supporting Starlight Children's Foundation as our charity. All right.
That's good.
What do you think of this, Gene?
What's
Right here.
up, buddy?
Watch this. Watch. This person is drying their underwear on the plane using the air. Look at this guy looking around.
I mean, seriously?
Isn't that unbelievable? Look at this dude. Look at this dude toss his his look around. This is my favorite part of this. He's like, no. This guy right here.
Anybody else seeing this?
Seeing this shit, man?
It's so nasty.
Ugh.
She's pushing all her vagina particles and butt particles
come on, man.
throughout the plane.
It's not okay. People do nasty shit on
Nasty
planes.
shit.
Yeah. It's
bare feet always freaks me
Oh
out.
my
Especially when you find it here.
Yeah, when they put it on your fucking seriously.
Yeah.
It's I've seen a lot of
people
disgusting shit.
Pick their feet, pick their
I've seen
nails.
diapers.
Yeah.
Now, especially that I'm a parent, I look for that shit. I've seen diapers rolled up, just left on the seat when they get out of the plane. I'm like, you fucking pig.
I've seen people clip
I just
nails.
want to tell Red Table Talk family that,
girl, Baltimore.
it's going to be a difficult, sensitive topic. We are going to be talking about race and racial relations between women.
It ain't going to be easy.
No, because you and I have already had some conversations that we've gotten pretty tight about.
Yeah.
And really talking about all our biases, because the sad part is that I realize I got some serious prejudices and biases myself. So there's a racial divide between women of color and white women. We don't talk about it much, but it's real and it's deep. Any comment about race, no matter how well-intentioned, can set off a firestorm which scares people away from even talking about the issue.
Now, what about this?
The thing that really breaks my heart is that white women understand what it feels to be oppressed.
Because
and what
of their
it
sex.
feels to, exactly, because of their sex. What it feels to be ostracized or not being treated as an equal.
Right.
You know what? I found this quote. I'm going to read it. Prejudice is the emotional commitment to ignorance.
Well, I have to admit, I'm guilty because I do have my own biases,
I do
specifically
too.
with blonde women. Blonde hair on white women just triggers me.
Blonde hair. She has blonde
Yeah, I
hair.
know.
Both those ladies have blonde
That's
hair.
her mom.
Well,
Her mom, yeah.
Her mom looks damn good.
So that's
So
why, that's
good.
why,
say that.
Damn.
That's why she cleared it up. Because she goes, blonde
white
women.
women.
Her mom was like, huh? She was like,
Because I do
Guys.
have my own biases,
I do
specifically
too.
with blonde women. Blonde hair on white women just
Shit.
triggers me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew I had something special with Jada. I knew it.
yeah,
She and I would be natural enemies, apparently.
I guess so.
Damn.
You know, and I've had
And
to
so
catch
did you
myself.
have a specific incident with someone who
shit's
had
super
blonde
blonde.
hair?
Absolutely. All throughout my childhood. I do remember experiencing being teased by white women
Oh.
in regards to my hair, how I looked, you
And
know,
I
feeling
have something-
belittled.
I think it's
Oh.
always interesting, though, when someone's like the way I looked, and they're literally like a perfect looking human being.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, she's flawless.
Yeah, she's like, I get teased about this
Yeah.
face. Okay. Well, I mean, I believe her, but
She hates white ladies.
yeah,
With blonde hair.
Damn.
What if she was like, I hate, like, I get triggered by white women with blonde hair, Christina P, other people.
She just said
I'd
your
love
name.
that.
Yeah, she was like, I hate her so much.
I love that.
There is a
God, he's so
love
special.
to, like, if someone that big hates you, you got to support that.
Are you kidding me? That'd
You
be
got to
awesome.
lean in on that.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Wow.
I've affected you enough that you hate me.
I didn't realize.
Um, we have a prank call that came in from Fart Simpson that he
Oh,
set
cool.
up for us.
I like that.
This might have been
really
his,
like
his
that.
Halloween one.
Thank you for calling. How can I help you?
My name's Tug.
Hello, how are you?
I just moved into this house about 2 weeks ago. There's been a lot of weird things happening since I moved into this place. I've been talking with different people around town, and they've been telling me about different ghosts in this house.
Are you trying to get rid of those, spirits in your house?
They told me about this woman that used to kill moose or something like that and then make soup out of them.
Okay.
There was also a guy that used to let strangers sexually abuse him so they could live in his house. I also heard about a guy that used to smoke meth with his brother. They would do sick, disgusting things with each other. And check this shit out. They even told me about this Asian massage therapist. Later on, they committed suicide in the house, something like that.
Okay. Have you seen or what kind of things have you heard?
Kitchen cabinet doors come open. Things fall out the cupboards.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
there's
why I decided to call someone like you So I'm gonna need your help. Help me summon these spirits right now.
Okay.
Spiritus, Satanica, Potatus, Incurcio, et secta diabolica, humanus creaturus. Ghost, can you hear me?
You can have many times sex. More smoke, harder than I can get. It's unbelievable. Try out. Jesus Christ. It's called orgasm coming off.
Human saltist, Paradonus.
Free French buildings like he. Rough.
Venenum, Propnere, Humulaire, Subputuni.
Right.
You hear that? Oh.
I do.
I do.
Spirits, are you with us?
Ask if you can live in peace.
Spirits, are you here to harm us in any way? Ghosts, can you hear me?
A lot of people, they never circumstances.
Do what? Say that again.
Sharpening the knife.
Huh?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Starting to feel something inside now. I don't know what's going on right now. I feel like something's inside me now. I feel all this hate. Oh.
If you're able to ask them to live in peace or to leave the home.
Help us. Help me. Help them. Hey, mommy.
Hey, hello.
Yeah. And the ties.
Jesus.
What the hell just happened? What just happened? I just woke up and I'm covered in my own feces and my own urine.
It sounds like they were definitely in your house.
I'm scared. I just want to live in this house. Say something. Answer me now.
Well, I don't hear anything.
All right. Well, I guess it looks like these spirits are here to stay. I appreciate all your help, everything you've done for me. I'm going to go wash my shitty drawers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Happy Halloween, mommies.
There you go.
There you go.
Fart Simpson, thanks so much for that.
Very good work.
Well done, Fart Simpson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Always good. Oh, my God. This last thing here I wanted to show you, because Christina was really into this. You like
I'm
it?
still upset that Jada's upset with me.
She hates you.
I hate that.
Jada
I love her
Simpson
so
hates you.
much, and I watch Red Table Talk on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it.
I do. I'm a Jada
so-
Pinkett Smith fan.
Oh my God, it's so good. They talk about
Jada
everything.
has to just worry about being Jada.
I know.
That's really where it's at.
Oh my God.
When you fall and cannot get up,
I mean, that's
Oh my
compared
God.
to a tragedy.
That aired.
But with
That aired?
Alert, one touch
So-
of a button can
That's
get
I've
you
fallen
help
and I can't get
fast.
up these days.
Yes. Tara, so we were in a hotel room, was it, during the evacuation?
Maybe.
And we were watching television, and this comes on, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
Like the whole cheesy "I've fallen and I can't get up" is enough.
Now it's
To
horrifying.
get, now you're putting an image in children's heads of their
Yeah.
older parents who
Yeah.
are home alone.
Yeah. It's so dark. Oh my God, that was terrifying.
Hey, Linda.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
She's down there, man.
I mean,
Jesus
the
Christ.
slow build of the
Yeah.
opening. You're like,
What is this? This is terrifying.
that's grandma's
I didn't
house.
know what. You know what? I didn't know what the fuck you guys are about to show me, and this is a legit thing. That's
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah,
best.
it's real.
This is where grandma lives.
I know.
Look at that nice neighborhood. Grandma's doing all right for herself.
Yeah.
And she's down there weeping to
She might
herself.
be doing a lot of these slip and falls. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Grandma's got some scratch. She might be gaming the system.
Look at this. It's a nice two-story
I know.
house, and then she's
And then
down
she's
there
like,
crying.
Oh my God.
Sweet Nana.
No, I thought she was face down too, but I see it
No,
now. She's
she's
face up.
Oh, really?
I thought, first time I saw it, I was like, man. But see her nose and mouth is open, and
No, she can breathe and scream.
Yeah. She's like, look, if you guys are gonna have me lay
But
here
see-
for 10 hours, I'm gonna need to be on my back. You know what I mean?
Look at this dumb bitch, though. She was carrying her
Jesus.
laundry,
Yep.
and then her shit fell. Maybe you shouldn't carry that laundry. Jesus Christ.
And right off to the side here, somebody's gonna be like, and cut lunch. We got it, Linda. We got it.
Need help? No, you're right. Okay.
You want? Can I tell you about a gaming the system, a good game in the system that I just learned in Baltimore while I was there? I'm proud and not proud at the same time.
Yeah.
So the racket that I haven't seen here with these Lime scooters and these Bird scooters in Baltimore City is these inner city kids. When you're just out there touring the harbor and shit, they run up to you, they push you off of it, and then they take it because it's on your dime, and however much.
Oh my God.
And they just ride it until the shit runs out. And then you know where they throw them? In the harbor. So they had to start taking them away because they're throwing them in the harbor.
Oh my God.
So there's a bike share program. And Baltimore City is the only city in the world that partakes in this bike share program that doesn't want to share the fucking bikes. They stole every bike. Okay, they're all gone. So they created something. Again, it's called the Baltimore Lock. It's the only city in the world doing this, and that didn't work. And now the bike share program is gone because the bikes are gone. Oh my God, Baltimore
Humanity.
City, man.
Humanity.
They're hustling down there.
Jesus.
Man, I got something. I keep coughing. Oh, I got
AIDS.
I maybe do. I gotta get something. Sickle cell. You're gonna be working with us pretty soon, man. We're working on this project with a new studio, and we'll be putting out podcasts, and yours gonna be one of them.
It is.
Super
I'm
excited.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm
You're
stoked to
natural.
be a part of your. Can we talk about it full on? Your network? Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know what it's called. I just know we're gonna be producing podcasts and trying to put out content.
Glad to be under your umbrella, Blake.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm stoked for it. I really am.
The goal, by the
Crafties
way,
is
so
ending
people
and-
know, is just that like you'll sign on, whatever. You subscribe to podcasts, but also on our video channel, you just have like a full new show. We'll try to get you something 5 days a week. So it's like
Not us 5 days a week.
no,
meaning
just something that like is related.
One day is
Yeah.
Ryan's show, and then we have a few other people
Yeah.
that we think will be a nice fit as a companion to your mom's house. So
The whole idea is it's people that we know that this audience responds to. Like
Yeah.
it's not people who, everyone likes, because everyone doesn't like everyone, but it's people
Yeah.
who the majority of
We
people
think
are
you
always
guys
like,
would
yeah,
like.
we like this person.
Well, I'm excited to have video. Like, I'm excited to have video. I want to take it. I want to do a lot of stuff. I have some ideas for Patreon.
Awesome.
Patreon.
I
Put
want
that shit down.
shit down.
I'm excited to do some stuff with you guys.
It's gonna be fun, man.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm
And
real
just so
excited.
everybody knows, the mommies listening and watching, we're not going to change our show, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Nothing. Your mom's house is going to stay exactly the same, except we're going to upgrade the studio a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll see some cooler shit, some slick stuff, some neat stuff.
Some real raw stuff too.
And we're going to get
full
physical.
throttle, right?
We're going to go full throttle. We're going to get physical with music, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah, physical with podcasts and physical with comedy.
You got to do a get physical with podcast fucking promo.
Yeah,
you got to do that.
Of
Let's podcast.
let's get physical
Get
doing
physical with
podcasts. I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
I really like that.
Oh shit.
You can't. You're smiling genuinely. You need to.
You do look like them though.
You
That's what's
do.
great. Like, well, honest to God,
You do.
people when they Photoshop it, I have to look 3 or 4 times. Like, is this really? Or like, I'm like, is that just his eyes? Or is it like you kind of look like
But Tom, do
you're
the
Darth
smile.
Brooks, bro.
Do
Darth
the smile,
Brooks.
but don't really smile. Like make your eyes not match your mouth. You know what I mean? Like just do this part, Tom. Go like this. That's how he smiles, Garth. But bigger.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Without it
Just like
matching.
him, man.
Yeah.
The
Just
one
like-
that I didn't repost, but this one I was like, whew, the Photoshop looks like it was too easy.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just lay it right in there. Yeah.
Facial hair.
Just put a hat on Tom.
Yeah,
It's Garth
swipe it
Brooks.
in and out, man.
Because he's got blue eyes in the same coloring as you, I think, right?
He does. He
Yes,
has those really pretty blue eyes. They're
Yeah.
probably Photoshopped. Tom's aren't.
No.
It's already buried. Oh, here it is. I mean, shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks so ridiculous.
It says, let's get physical.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
Some real talented photoshoppers on
There
there.
are. You got some beasts out there.
Yeah.
All right, the new album. It's what's it called?
Get a hold of yourself.
Get a hold of yourself. It's
Available
already everywhere.
iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora, everywhere you get it.
Sickler's the best. Support the
Thank you,
album.
guys.
Please
Yeah,
get it.
super funny.
And,
Number one on iTunes right
number
now.
Sorry for the quick, abrupt segue. I forgot to do it live, so I'm doing it now. We're going to jump over to our conversation with Sean Anders, the writer-director of Instant Family. It's a great time. Sorry. Here's that. So excited and thrilled that this worked out. It is holiday week, obviously. It's Thanksgiving week. And I can actually say that yours truly is in a movie that is playing in theaters right now. You can take your family, take them today, tomorrow, all weekend long to see Instant Family. And we're being joined by the writer, director, producer, Mr. Sean Anders. Thank you, Sean.
Hey, I just realized my chair is sinking now.
Is it? God, why don't you lose some weight, man? Jesus. We haven't had somebody weigh so much that sits here before.
Oh, Bert sat
Well,
here.
Bert probably
He broke the chair.
That's true. Thanks for coming over, first of all.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for making. Actually, I know this feels hokey and sincere, but you actually made a dream of mine come true by putting me in a movie.
Wow.
So
that's true.
And
It's been waiting a long time.
I don't want to get too emotional. I'm going to remove eye contact. No, but when I moved out here, the honest to God truth is I never had any aspirations whatsoever to do stand up. I didn't come out here with that idea. My whole thing was like, I just want to act, and I wanted to act in movies, not television. I love movies, and I thought I would be a comedic actor. That's really what I thought I would do. I went to the Groundlings. I did some shows with Second City groups, like sketch shows, and I was like, I booked a couple of commercials. I was like, oh, this is like a natural progression. I'll be an actor, and I fell into stand up, and I started to work as a stand up, and then that went that way. But man, it sounds crazy, 15, 16 years, I was always like, man, fucking sucks. And then as specials came out, I'd be like, there's not one fucking director that could watch something that I'm in and be like, he could play a part.
Turns out there was.
And there was. And so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, man.
Well,
Seriously.
no, man, thank you. You killed it. And it's funny because the way I got started, I was kind of the opposite. I loved movies, but I never thought in a million years that I'd have a shot at doing this kind of stuff. So me and my friends just made a movie just purely just for fun and just to have a good time and just to see if we could do it. And it turned into this nonsense, So
and you have a fucking crazy career now.
What did you first make? Tell us that.
We made this movie. It's called NBT, Never Been Thawed, and it was a mockumentary because that's what you do when you don't have any money and you want to make a comedy. And it was about a group of people that collect frozen entrees, and they're trying to put on the first frozen entree enthusiast convention. And it was just kind of about subculture and nonsense, and we just did it purely for fun. And it kind of is
that it?
I should not have said anything. That's me.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. What's so interesting about people who do
All right, take that
incredible
down.
things in their lives is that there was a time when you were just, this kid in Wisconsin who was like, I'd love to direct movies someday. And we just made this thing. And then this happens.
And so dumb, by the way. So incredibly dumb. Like just painfully dumb. And I don't know how.
That's how you describe yourself?
Yeah.
It's painfully dumb?
Well, we were just talking about Isabella right before we started, about Isabella Moner, who plays Lizzie in the movie, and she's just crazy talented, this kid.
And it's funny you say that, though. We were talking about how talented she is and what a career she has going. The other thing is, like, when you talk to her, a couple of things that come through, like, in my experience, was that, like, super intelligent.
Yeah.
And, like, doesn't conduct, like, when I talk to her on the set, I don't feel like I'm talking to like a teenager.
Right.
You kind of feel like you're talking to an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that contributes to confidence and success as a 16-year-old.
Right.
Because that's not the way most teenagers conduct themselves.
Oh, but that's what I mean is that when I was that age, I don't think I could barely even put a sentence together.
God.
Yeah.
And actually, she inspired me. Being around her, I started bringing my kids to work more often, bringing them to the edit bay and stuff, because I thought I need to make sure that my kids are around grown-ups enough to just get that confidence to be able to just, when grown-ups come up and say, hey, what's your name?
That's
To not
so
go
true.
Like,
Yeah. Well, because you think of grown-ups.
You always have this thing. This is before we even had kids, where you always noted when we walk into like an elevator or something, you're like you'd say hello to like a kid, and you're like, that kid should
Absolutely.
say hello.
Yeah.
You know, like hello to somebody.
Well,
Which I
because-
was always like, oh, okay.
Well, because the assumption is when you're a child that adults, because they're older than you, know everything or they know better than you. And then you become an adult and you're like, these dumb motherfuckers, these people are dumber than me. What are you talking about? So that, and also having the audacity to dream big and to do the thing you want to do. It's so important,
I
Most
talk
people think
about
I
it
could
on
never
stage
do
now.
that. It's like, of course you can.
Yeah, I talk about that on
Sure.
stage now.
Yeah.
About going
Just doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I make
Making
jokes,
things,
obviously,
yeah.
but I do talk about like how dreaming big is like so important, and not letting people, because a lot of the times you say like something like, I want to make a movie, and they're like, yeah, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, come on, man, like you're not gonna
Yeah.
make a movie, and people really say that a lot. More people say that than the other way,
Right.
Well, you were saying that your father was a mailman.
Yeah.
And your family is pretty, they're working. My dad was a forklift mechanic. And
Yep.
I think, too, the thought of being in show business was like, I may as well have told him I wanted to go to the moon and live there. He was like, why would you even?
Yeah, same.
Were they supportive of you? Or?
They were supportive, but kind of like what Tom said. My dad grew up very poor, so it was all about you got to punch in, you got to get a steady paycheck, all that kind of stuff. And
Sure.
I was like, I always wanted to do kind of what I wanted to do. But my parents were always really supportive of whatever, because they never had that thought of like, I think they knew from an early age, this guy's not running for Senate, so they were like, whatever makes you happy. But, I have to say though, your attitude about all of that, it's really special being on set and having people around. And we had a lot of them on this movie who, even people like Julie Haggerty as an example, who's been in like
her.
1,000 movies and has
Yeah.
been doing it forever and still has this glee about the process and about being there. And whenever you have people around that are just like excited to be there, it makes it so much more fun.
That set was really something cool.
He talked about it. Tom would come home and be like, I love everybody. I love everybody on this movie. Everybody's
I know.
nice. Everybody's
I was
normal.
like, I'm turning
It's
into an
great."
actor. I'm like, oh, you got to meet all the other actors. Such great people.
But it wasn't.
It's
it wasn't-
infectious.
But it also wasn't for lack of a better word, it wasn't like an actory kind of vibe around there at all. Like everybody was just really, really cool.
Michael O'Keefe 100% thought I was a studio executive or producer. He came up because I was wearing the rust leather jackets.
Your
and,
douchebag outfits?
Everybody all day would talk about my jacket. Like, is that your jacket? And I was like, it's this fucking.
Those jackets were inspired by my brother Bob.
So Russ is based on your brother.
Well, he's got
kind
a
of.
little Bob mixed in there.
A little bit. So
Hilarious.
But these people would come up and they're like, Jack. But Mike goes, thanks so much. And I was like, for what? This is like right when I meet him. And he's like, I was just excited to be here. And I turned to John, your writing partner, and I was like, he just thanked me for this job. And I was like, no problem, man. It took like a day from to figure out that I'm in it.
You're not the executive?
Yeah. Well, I looked like a douchey producer
I know.
on our park day. 'Cause I had my leather thing with the stripes and sunglasses.
I love
You're like, this looks like a Hollywood dick.
Can I
kind of.
tell you the best part about we saw the screening of Instant Family. I think I just given birth to Julian like a week before, and we went to go see it. And it was so stunning to see my husband on like the big screen, and your beard was darker.
Yes.
They took the gray out.
Yeah.
And your outfits were so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this guy's such a D-bag. Like they put you in this douchebag clothes. It was so funny.
It was great.
so good.
It really is fun dressing in things you wouldn't normally dress, like that. You know what I mean? And embracing
Yeah.
it. That
Yeah.
actually is probably one of the most.
Well, it's perfect for the character.
The fun things about acting, though, is like doing things like changing your hair, changing your clothes, and then.
Do you remember what we did to you with that double?
With that double?
Remember there was the day that the double showed up because you weren't going to be able to be. There was a shot. It didn't end up in the movie because honestly the double was too far off. Remember? You don't remember this?
Wait.
So this guy shows up who's going to be the Segura from behind double because we were just going to get a shot.
no.
We're going to get a shot of Tom and Alan walking toward the house on a day when Tom wasn't going to be able to be at that set. And the guy came up to just kind of like get his wardrobe approved. And you were going like, what? I don't look like
Dude, I'm trying to remember when that would have been.
He looked pretty different than you.
Yeah?
And we ended up not using it.
Like
because of
super hot? Was he really hot?
Yeah, he was just ripped.
Oh, man. So for people, I mean, obviously I talked about, we used to do episodes when I was in Atlanta and between
my life, yes.
weeks, while we were going back and forth. And then I've been talking about it coming up. Then you and I went on Rogan together last week. But for the people that don't know, Instant Family that you wrote and directed, I should say co-wrote, right?
Yep.
With John Moores.
John also produces, and John's there every step of the way.
John's the best. I haven't seen him since this whole thing, but I didn't run into him in anything, but John is fantastic. But this story is inspired by your life, and it's about foster care. And then you and your wife actually adopted 3 siblings.
Yeah.
And this, so like, I always thought it was important to note that it's not just a guy going like, we should write a movie about adopting.
Yeah.
And like try to hook people on that. It's like, it's influenced by something you really did.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was, after going through that process and being about 3 years into it, it was actually John who said, we should do a movie about this because, none of us knew any. I didn't know anything about it when I got involved in it. And I was surprised there aren't that many things nowadays, where you get into a process and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that you have to take these classes. And I didn't realize that there's so many things about it that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And John didn't know. So we thought, well, it would be good to shed some light on that stuff. And also we thought we had sort of a unique perspective on it, given that it is happening in my life, and that so many movies that are made on the topic really just focus on the sort of tragic elements of it, but there's all these other elements of it too that are really wonderful and full of love and laughter and all of that. So we wanted to be able to kind of cover all of it.
Oh my God,
it's awesome.
I tell you, I'm a comic. I'm cynical. I'm made of Teflon for the most part. I've cried on the show once last week when we were
talking about the fires.
And I was crying. But I'm telling you, I haven't cried in a movie theater like that in so long. And then the laughs and the tears, it's really so unique in a movie. You don't get to go on that much of a ride. And it's such a well done film. And
Thank you.
Everyone go see it for Thanksgiving. This is a perfect week to take your family and go see it. And so wait, how old are the kids now?
Well, my kids are different ages than the kids in the movie. So my kids are now 13. I hate it when there's that little pause and you're like, oh, I look like the worst parent in the world because I paused on my kids' age. No, 13, 9, and 8. I know my kids' age.
All right.
But no, and it's one of the stories I like to tell about the movie that when my wife and I got into it, when you go see the movie, you'll see that the characters go to this bizarre thing called an adoption fair, which is a really controversial, strange thing. And we went to one because, the social workers invited us and we went there, and it was one of the weirdest things we've ever been to. And we did meet a teenage girl there and her younger siblings, like the characters in the movie. And we did not feel ready to sign up to have a teenager in our house. But
of course,
this girl seemed great. She seemed really cool. And we just thought, all right. So we wrote them down on our sheet with just a lot of trepidation. And then before anything happened, the social worker called and said, these kids have been in care for 4 years, and the teenage girl is really holding out hope that her mom's coming back, so she's refusing the placement. So anyway, that's why we have a teenager in the movie, because I never forgot that girl. And then when the time came to make the movie, I really wanted to put a teenager in because those are the kids that really are misunderstood.
Help.
But yeah, my kids. So what happened in my case was shortly after that, our social worker called and said, oh, but there's these other 3 kids. And that's how random it was. It was just like, okay, there's these other 3 kids. And they were 6, 3, and 18 months at the time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How did you do it?
I don't know. It was horrible.
Well, and especially going
at first it was horrible.
Because the traditional route is you have a newborn and that you're thrown into that chaos, and that's like your boot camp for being a parent. But you got like all 3 children at once,
and we
at
were
different
so
stages.
cocky. Like we really thought.
Oh my
like,
God.
We thought no, we can. You know, I mean, we knew you kind of know intellectually there's a storm coming, but like you just don't
Now,
realize.
Did you at the time when you first got your children? Was it school's time? Were you like able to have at least your
No, and that's a great question. Nobody ever asked that question, and that's the thing is that, and they're strict about that stuff. So it's like, welcome to our home, day one. Okay, and then our 2 younger were, you know, they didn't have to go to school, but our oldest, our son, had to be like right into a new school like that day.
Oh wow!
So you don't even get a minute. You know,
Whoa.
it was like we had to go and sign him up, and then it turned out the school that was closest to our house was over full. So, the other one was like, you know, 0.2 of a mile further away or whatever. And but no, it was just everything immediately. It was just school and teachers and kids, and it was
intense.
Yeah, it was intense.
Do you have the kids or the oldest or all of them seen the film?
Oh yeah,
and
they love it.
They love it.
I mean, they don't see it because it's not a biopic about our family. They recognize specific moments that they remember, but they've been around for the whole thing, including when I was talking about it when it was a script, because we'd be having dinner and my wife and I and my kids would be trying to remember certain things, and then they would come to set and they were in the edit bay, and so they've been around.
It's been a cool experience for them.
Yeah, it's been a really cool experience.
And for your wife?
Yeah. I mean, my wife, one of the things I love about my wife is that she has absolutely zero craving for the spotlight at all or anything like, you know.
I wish my wife would.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if I did a podcast, my wife would never be a part of it. She would not, nothing. No, I'm sorry.
Guys, how dare you?
And if I did a podcast, my husband, sorry. I mean, I don't know, it's your podcast.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, so this has been interesting because she has been, you know, in these interviews and in certain things, and she's been great about it, but she's kind of like ready to be done.
Now, you must have some fun because the one thing I was thinking about earlier today when you're on your way over here is like your children are Latin. My mother is.
Yeah.
And my mother looks distinctly Latin, right? And
like you.
Yeah, like me. Like my younger it's weird the way genetics work because my younger sister looks like a carbon copy of my mom.
Right.
And then my dad, who's like a white boy, I just inherited, you know, the fair skin and everything. And throughout my life, I can tell you countless times where I'd be with my mom and talking to someone, and then they'd be like, "Who's that lady?" I'd be like, "That's my mom."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Did she adopt you?" And I'd be like, "No, that's actually my mother." Do you run into, you know, I guess you'll probably, at some point it gets like countless looks or whatever, but do people go like, "Are those?"
No, I mean, so often, you know, either I'm just with the kids and I think people just assume
They pick up on things.
that my wife is Latin or whatever, you know.
Okay.
And you know, it's funny when we were going through the classes, the foster classes, because you have to take these like 8 weeks of classes before you're certified, and they talked about that a lot. And people get really jumpy about that, about like, well, what are people going to say, and how are people, you know? And we had that moment of, well, how are people going to perceive this as far as us being the white family and all of that kind of stuff? But we didn't have any worry at all about like, oh no, people are going to know our kids are adopted. I don't care if they know our kids are adopted. I mean, and that's, I think part of it is that I think nowadays people have a much better understanding that you love your kids just as much. If
That's
they're
true.
adopted,
This is a
you
different
know?
era.
But there
sure.
was a time, I think, for a
Yeah.
long time that people would almost approach it with pity, like, "Oh, couldn't you have your own kids?"
Oh
or
my
whatever,
God.
whatever
Yeah.
crazy things people would come up with. But we don't. No, I don't really.
My
I wish you would
older
have adopted me.
My older sister has black hair and dark eyes, and she married like basically a Nordic guy.
Yeah.
And so both of her children are blonde with blue eyes, and everywhere I go, they ask me like if the mother knows this because they all assume she's the nanny, and it makes me so happy because they're like,
"Where does she live?"
She lives in Florida.
Okay,
and
so,
she's just
wow.
she'll bring them in, and they're like, and then as their mother aware that, and she's like, "I am their mother," and they're like, "Okay,
That's terrible." Oh man,
she deserves it." Now,
does.
so this is are you ready for this?
Before we do that, the other thing that I just wanted to give give you credit for because
Oh,
you're the only
okay.
person that said this. When you guys came to see the movie afterwards, when we were talking afterwards, you said that you loved that Pete and Ellie, who are played by Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne, seemed like a couple that actually loves each other.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that you said that because as we were making the movie, there were different people along the route that were like, they should be fighting more, they should be attacking each other more. And I was like, that's not really how it was for us, for my wife and I. You have to kind of stick together a little bit in that situation.
Well, it's you against the kids.
Yeah, exactly. But you were the
Always.
only person
Thank
who
you.
actually said that.
Very smart.
And
Very observant.
it made me so happy.
Oh,
I
good.
called Beth and I was like, you know what she said?
That's sweet. Thank you.
I'll say this too. I mean, like we watch a lot of shows together. One of the things that just over time that we've realized is that totally removed from this film or story, it's such a bummer to watch couples that don't like each other, like in movies and entertainment. Like
I
it's
know.
like you see all these shows
It's
where
the
like
worst.
the show will be like, here's the reality of marriage.
Yeah.
And then it's like just bickering or the resentment, and you're like, okay, I mean maybe that's somewhat of reality, but like I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch.
I got a piece of advice from a really good friend a long time ago. And she said that her mom gave her this advice, that her mom told her, people are going to tell you your whole life that relationships are hard.
Yeah.
And she said, it's not true.
Yeah.
Bad relationships are hard.
Yes.
Good relationships are relatively easy.
Thank you.
And I think, as as dark and just crazy funny and bizarre of places that you guys go into on this podcast, as much as you guys might not want to admit it, a huge secret to the charm of your podcast is how much you guys obviously enjoy one another.
Of course.
You know?
true.
Yes.
Yes.
And ironically, it's kind of a family show in a weird way.
Well.
In a weird way. It's our family. But yeah, I liked watching the couple in your movie because they also had normal reactions to extraordinary circumstances. I don't know if you guys kept it in the movie, the final cut, but where's that one where Mark Wahlberg is kind of to the wife being like, should we give them back? Should we give them back? And I liked it. I liked that because I'm like, I say that about our kids all the time. Like, do we make a big mistake?
Well, it's really funny because the scene that you're referring to, they're just sort of at their wits' end. They're at a very low point. They're lost. They're scared.
Right.
And they're talking about there's got to be some way back to the easy, quiet life that we
Right.
had before. And my wife and I very much had that conversation. I'm not proud of it, but what I've found, and I've been screening the movie for groups all across the country, it's really funny when you show it to regular general audiences, they sort of gasp at that scene.
Oh.
But then when you show it to adoptive families, they roar at that scene because they're all like, oh yeah, we totally had that conversation like 7 times.
Right.
And because it's a hard adjustment to make. And then
Yeah.
once you do make the adjustment, it's the best thing that ever happened to you, but you still have to get through that hard time first.
Of course. I think I think that because we just had our second baby. So then you start to go like, oh my God, what did we do? Like 1 was manageable. 1, we could still leave the country. 2 is like fucking chaos, man.
Well, I'm going to crush you right now. 3 is it's a great number.
Shut up.
No, it's shut down. I have shut
Actually,
it down.
I've said it to her a bunch, and she's
Negative.
yelled at me. I was like, come on.
I don't have
Because when
it
they
in
get a
me.
little bigger, 3, well, adopt one.
Fun.
When they
Oh,
get a
yeah.
little bigger, 3 is such a great number because they can kind of pair up. If one of them wants to be alone, the other one still has somebody to play with,
Oh,
and they kind of
shit.
like it. Really is it's a more manageable number than you think.
I don't know.
Think about 4.
No. No.
I did tell you this. I mentioned this, I think, last week when we did that podcast. But the funny thing is that ever since being in this movie and talking about it, man, emails left and right, messages left and right about people who either have adopted, are going to adopt, or know someone that is adopting.
Yeah.
So you end up learning, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
And even one of my friends, Greg, told me that his sister and her husband are adopting 4 siblings this week.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah.
What are their names?
Gosh.
I don't know.
Oh, who is it?
Greg Coleman. He's a comic in Minnesota, and he was
wow.
like,
See, when you hear that, here's what's so incredibly cool about that. 4 siblings run such a high risk of being split up.
Here we go. Greg Coleman. My sister and husband are adopting 4 kids next week. Wow. The entire fam is going to see Instant Family next week as a warm-up.
Good for them.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to adopt a 3rd.
Just add 4.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, you know that when my wife and I, when we went to that adoption fair, we also met 5 girls that were between 2 and like 12. And I just was watching these kids going like, oh my God, 5 kids. And my wife was like, there's no way.
5?
But we ended up, this is how crazy we are, that when the thing with the teenager didn't work out, we did sort of, because we just kept thinking about these girls. We're like, they're definitely going to get split up. They're going to get split up. So we called the social worker and we were like, what about these? And she was like, oh no, they placed them all together.
Oh,
we were like, thank God. Oh good. They got, yeah. So,
that's really
but it made it was like swinging 5 bats on the on deck circle, you know, and because it was like, you know, then after talking about 5 or talking about a teenager, all of a sudden 3 younger kids seemed a little more manageable.
Oh, right.
It wasn't, but it seemed
it wasn't though.
But it's so interesting, and I like about your film too. And I think because I just had our second child, is like you don't realize how complicated parenting is until you really do it, and you're like, oh man, there's so many emotions. Like I go from like joy to anger to exhilaration to exhaustion all day.
Well, you don't realize
all
how
day.
crazy you are.
Yeah.
Until the kids come in and sort of draw that
Yeah.
out of you. And then you're like, oh, I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
I had no idea that I was this insane.
Yeah.
I had this the 2 hours while you were gone with our big boy I was like
How'd
on a
that
walk
go?
with him. Then I'm on a notes call.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, doing a notes
Screaming
call on
kid.
a walk with him. He's like, trash cans. And I'm like, I go, yeah, that other scene we could probably. He's like, trash cans. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Just like,
And
it
then-
just reminds me of bikes. I can't,
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
Yeah.
You just have to surrender, you know, right? Like, isn't there a point where you're just like, fuck it, it's just chaos?
And then he wrote on there on the couch.
Oh, right,
Yep.
right.
We got back, and I was telling Sean, I started to talk to him like he was going to give me a explanation. I go, why would you do that? I told you not to do that. And he goes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're never gonna
Damn
get
it.
I
was
know.
like, anyways.
Well, we had this thing where we always have these meetings, like we'll have dinner and we'll be like, okay, it's going to be like family meeting night. We're going to, you know, talk about whatever we need to talk about. And my kid said to me at one point, you shout too much. And I was like, I know I shout. I hate shouting, but you guys won't listen to one syllable that I say until I start shouting at you. And then all of a sudden you're like all ears. But up until then, so then I said, how about this? How about I say, I'm about to shout. And when you hear I'm about to shout, just take that as I'm already shouting and then listen to me and look at me.
Right.
And they were like, okay, all right, we can do that. And then it'd be like, okay, you guys, I'm about to shout. I am about to shout. And they'd be like, whatever. And I'd be like, ah, you know?
Now they're listening.
Yeah.
Keep shouting.
God damn it.
I want to shout.
Oh, you're gonna shout a lot. And 2 boys.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Shit. You know who I wonder shouts? I don't know
Okay,
if
here we
Welcome to
go.
Inside Studio G, where music is first here, and I like it that way. Really cool. I got. Is that supposed to happen?
Right there. Right there.
The rage.
You're a director.
The rage.
Look at that
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
That's a great emotional
There's a
turn in
knock.
that scene right there.
Yep, right? There's
Look at that.
knocking.
I got.
Because this is like, I'm thinking about.
This is supposed to happen.
I am thinking about reaching under someone's chest plate and removing their heart with my bare fucking hand.
Yeah, seething.
To me, happy
me.
birthday to G.
Oh,
Happy birthday to G.
raging.
Okay, buddy.
Rage.
Sure, pal. I don't fucking. Did you ever get? You knew about Chris Gaines, right?
Yeah.
And his
Yeah.
that was his character.
His alter ego, right?
Oddly, there is a song in Instant Family that was written, I believe, for Chris Gaines.
Really?
Not
What?
performed by Chris Gaines, but
But written for him.
There's this beautiful song that we use near the end of the movie called "It Don't Matter to the Sun," and I think the first appearance of that song was on the Chris Gaines record, and then it was later
What?
it was later covered by Don Henley and I think Stevie Nicks, or I can't remember exactly who. Maybe it was just Don Henley. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
definitely played some Chris Gaines stuff hundreds of episodes before, but we've been talking about Garth so much that
Yeah.
people have asked, more about him.
Can I tell you, I love this so much, this era that we're going into.
Of this
I'm
Garth stuff?
I'm enthralled with him. I'm fascinated
He's a
by the
fascinating
psychology
person.
of this.
He's a fascinating person.
I
Here
love
is,
people's social media.
So people don't know,
Man.
Garth years ago got sick of his successful career as Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Decided he was going to play an alter ego, Chris Gaines, whose parents had died, and he was doing different type of music. And
I didn't know there was a
Most
backstory.
Oh,
asked
yeah.
question that I get about Chris Gaines is, what's it like to play two different people? And the answer is, first, let's get one thing straight. I'm not playing two different people. I'm playing one. The Garth Brooks thing is just who I am.
What? Oh.
The Chris Gaines thing, though, the closer you look and the more you find out, you realize Chris Gaines is Garth Brooks. So all it is a stretching of the arms. And all it is taking Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines and putting them together the same way we took a song from the 60s and the 90s and put them together to create a new song for the millennium. It's probably the crossroads where Garth and Chris meet dead on and probably the most they're alike.
Do you know something?
I don't know.
This is the most sincere I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
When he's talking, but you know why? Do you know why? Because Chris Gaines is his shadow self. It's
Yeah.
the darkness inside
It
of
is the
him
darkness,
that he's
yeah.
finally addressing. So when
Right.
he's talking about the darkness, he's alive.
One of my favorite
I love
things.
it.
That's actually a really good
Thank
analysis.
you. 10 years in psychotherapy.
I
Go
bet
ahead.
also the Garth Brooks character, even though he says that's just him, my assumption is that it's him, but it's also anytime you have a public persona like that, that's a lot of work to kind of keep that up and to be the.
Well, that's why it seems. I was telling you, it feels contrived and more than anything, it feels exhausting because there's nothing natural about it. Like he doesn't go like, "Hey, I'm coming to your city." He's like, "Hi,
Yeah,
I'm coming to your
I'm the
city.
nice guy."
I'm real. I love y'all so much. I just want world peace." And you're like, "All right, man. Like no one talks like that. Sounds like you're in a beauty pageant contest."
Yeah.
You know, it does. It feels forced.
And I'm not saying he's not a nice guy.
I'm sure
I don't
he
know
is.
anything about him, but I just know that, especially, I mean, the guy was like the Michael Jordan of country music for like 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, to just keep that up has got to be exhausting. So to just pretend like you're somebody else for a while had to be like the most fun he ever had.
Well, he took so much time off. He's how famous he is. He took a lot of time off. I think it was to raise the kids. Was the
with Trisha?
story. I'm sure it was just to bury bodies, but it was. They said he was raising his kids, and then now he's back on tour. He's doing football stadiums.
Oh.
And they are selling out like in an hour, like
Wow.
stadiums.
Bananas.
But this was him also explaining how he photographs differently for Chris Gaines.
And the hard thing about playing Chris Gaines as an actual person that you're filming is for a guy that's 220 pounds to try and look small. And Chris is this supposedly kind of a smaller built artist. So in all the pictures, it's easy because still
goth.
photos
I love
like
it.
you suck your cheeks in and your
Yeah.
face becomes real thin. And you can do that.
There's Chris.
The problem is as
love
soon as you
it.
start singing, these big old cheeks come out again.
Weird.
Chris will be the first one to tell you in his biography that he's had a lot of great relationships that he has personally thrown away himself. So when it comes to women and when it comes to commitment, he's not really the first guy in line.
Shadow.
The shadow self. There it is.
It's the darkness.
You
The
should
goth.
do this. You should do like a Vegas, like not an Andy Kaufman thing, but like you should do a skinny guy, cool guy. Like not that you're not skinny and cool, but like
Sure,
you should do
sure.
like you should do an alter ego comic with long hair.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It just does like really,
Wait.
stuff that only 15-year-olds get.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't you have rodeo?
Yeah, I did do rodeo for a while.
I don't know this one.
Rodeo would do urban rooms, and he would wear oversized white T-shirts. He had like a pencil-thin beard, and then he had a call. He would go, "Hey ho, rodeo!" So like for the punchlines.
Can I tell you?
But I would do only like hack premises, like you gotta hit your kids, man. You gotta hit your kids.
Yeah. You probably make a fortune though.
Right now,
Yes.
just blow myself out of the water.
Forget it. Yeah.
Like my agent's like, you gotta stop touring as yourself.
Yeah. They don't want that anymore.
You're stuck with rodeo. Oh, can I say before I forget, I was so excited, and this is so corny, but so excited to hear Bauhaus in your movie.
Oh,
Third uncle, dude.
She's the greatest ever.
Hello.
Again, only person
Thank
to
you.
ever mention that.
Thank
yeah,
you.
what a great song that
Very
is.
observant.
Yeah,
Now, do you like goth music? Is that where you got that from?
I don't, no, not goth music. Like I'm not like, an aging goth or anything, but I did
I
really,
am.
I always really loved Bauhaus and Peter Murphy and Love and Rockets and yeah.
What the fuck? Now, how did you? I didn't know. Oh, good. I love that stuff too.
You both used to go to lesbian clubs a lot.
Lesbian clubs.
Yeah, that's what he's.
Goth clubs. Well, I was so impressed because I've never heard that song in a movie, and I was like, Tommy, that's Bauhaus. That's Bauhaus.
That's such a great
so
song.
excited. Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. Chris said that.
Oh,
that's weird.
Well,
it's better. So, anyway, this guy comes out with this long hair and he hides out for 3 or 4 years because he's really not happy with his face, which upset me. But and he kind of looked like Prince,
Oh.
Except this guy gained a lot of weight after the car wreck too,
Oh, so this is explaining the Chris
this
look.
Is what he looks like.
Oh, he's showing them.
the chicks love it.
Yeah, of course. There's. Okay.
Is that the unveiling?
Oh, yeah, that was unveiling Chris Gaines to an
Wow.
audience. Yeah.
What a bizarre thing. It's just.
No, Sean was saying he can't put any faces to people he's heard on our show. Like,
Oh, see, I don't want this.
I don't want this. That's the first time anyone's ever said that on our show.
I listen. See, I was saying to Tom that I only hear your show because I'm always driving when I'm listening to it. So I haven't seen any of these lunatics. And but the pictures in my mind are frankly worse than that. So
okay. Okay. All right, I got you.
You feel.
Canada has an asphalt belt, and this is the buckle. Woo! I want to see if I can't. I gotta be careful here.
Sorry.
Jesus,
I'm
Tom.
sorry.
I can't believe how big his dick was.
You don't want to see that guy.
Okay.
You don't
All
want to
right.
see the 4-stroke guy.
do you have a research person that digs for this stuff, or is it all you?
No. We would now have 2 staff. So people send in emails, yourmomspodcast@gmail.com. It sometimes gets like 5,000 plus emails a week.
I know.
And it's like, and that we have to work in tandem to just dig through stuff.
Have you told the story on your show about when the trailer for the movie first hit?
Well, there's a couple things that are pretty funny that have happened recently. There's the trailer, which is now, by the way, that trailer, if we do YouTube, let's see, Instant Family, it is 100%, it has 10 million views, the trailer.
Jesus.
Does. I mean, for a trailer, right? It's pretty nutty.
Oh, she's so pretty.
People who take
she's
the
so
foster
great.
kids are really special. The kind of people who volunteer when it's not even a holiday. We don't even volunteer on a holiday.
Over 500,000 children are currently in foster care. The county puts these on because they can match a lot of kids and parents quickly.
Look at the big kids.
Everybody's avoiding them. I'm gonna go and say hi.
But they're teenagers, okay? They use drugs and they watch people playing video games on YouTube. We're not equipped for any of that.
Hi! Just FYI, we can all hear you. It's okay. Go mingle with the kitties and don't give it another thought. Bye-bye.
She was cool.
Lizzie comes with 2 younger siblings.
3 kids? Too much.
Oh,
my God.
they're adorable.
Why would you show us that? That's wrong.
Here we are.
Make yourself at home because you are at home.
Do you like the Clippers?
Oh, I'm more of a Lakers fan.
Oh, no!
You hit me because I like the Clippers.
I think the Clippers are awesome. They were smart for trading Blake Griffin. Their best player. Just stay there till the fire department comes, okay?
All right, there's this trailer has almost 11 million views now, and if you go in here, look, the third comment, Tommy Buns. I want this out right now. Right now, this is from our show.
I know. Well, I know.
Adopt me, feed me, try it out. Highest and tightest trailer I've ever seen.
So here's what happened. The marketing people at Paramount, wonderful people, good people.
They're very nice people.
They put up the trailer, and it's always kind of like, okay, they worked really hard on this thing to try to get the message across of what the movie is, and then they want to see how people react to it, and the reactions were really, really positive. But mixed in were all of these cryptic, bizarre things from your fans, and they were like, and it took everybody like a few beats to be like, what's going on with this trailer?
Oh,
what the hell is high and tight? And then they called me to tell me, and I knew at that point, but they called me to tell me those are just Tom Segura's fans. They love him, it's been really fun.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And now with people, what I love is that there are these great people have been posting these great, your fans have been posting these great, things on Instagram or whatever that are sort of admitting that as cynical as of kind of humor that they like,
Yes.
but they are, so many of them are really digging the movie and obviously loving Tom in it.
Well, and I think because there's real, that moment I was discussing earlier with they're like, oh my God, what have we done? There's real moments of, it's funny, but it's also real play. There's nothing corny about this movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
you.
It's
I
not
hope,
like,
yeah.
oh God, what? It's really a good, genuine.
They finally got to editing some of the IMDb trivia, which for a month was just made
Your mom's
up.
house?
Trivia.
It was just mayhem on there.
Yeah, right now the top piece of trivia still says Tom, who stars as Russ, was famously known as the water champion, as well as beating the world's fattest man, Bart Grisler, in a weight loss competition. That's obviously not true. That's not trivia for movie fans.
Kind of is.
This right here.
Oh my God.
This is
one's
just
crazy.
an actual review of the film based on true story by director Sean Andrews' home family life. It's a full review of it. The film is bolstered by a strong supporting cast. Tom Segura keeps things high and tight as the impishly maniacal husband of Ellie's baby crazy sister. It is a small role but a notable one, as Segura effortlessly adapts his warmly sociopathic comedic stylings. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And then they go on to write a really great review, but unbelievable how you guys.
I love warmly sociopathic.
Warmly.
So happy.
Everyone's hitting me up with that right now. So yeah.
I don't know that anybody's ever been described that way.
Yeah, and I don't know if everyone ever will
It's
be.
not an easy
Again.
thing to be.
No.
Warmly sociopathic.
You know, this show started kind of uniquely like that. Wouldn't you say, Tommy? This show was started as like a dance between. Originally, it was Tommy and I playing Gigi Allen. Do you know Gigi Allen? Yeah. We love that documentary, Hated.
It's so good. And then we played other documentaries, Stevie.
We're
Year
into
of the
all
Bull.
weird. It started the dark, weird shit that we like.
Stevie.
And then what happened is there was people that were like, yes, we like weird too. And then they kept emailing it, and then we kept playing it, and now it's listener generated.
He drinks.
The show.
And he does marijuana.
From Stevie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
He just gets so sad. He's like,
I know that documentary will take a lot out of you.
Oh yeah.
Don't watch that at the beginning of your weekend.
Yeah.
No.
When you walk up to a rattlesnake,
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's.
By the way, have you guys ever seen My Brother's Keeper?
Wait, is that about a slow adult?
Well, it's about these three old men in upstate New York who lived on a farm, and one of them murdered the other one. Put it on your list.
There you go, Tom.
It's very darkly disturbing, interesting, just weird. I guarantee a lot of your listeners will know what I'm talking about.
By the way, had you seen Tiptoes?
No, it's funny. As I was driving over here, I hadn't caught the last episode yet, so I was just catching up on the last episode.
Tiptoes.
That is. Are you making that up? Is that
No, it's real.
No.
That sounded like, as I thought, they must have just cut something together.
It seemed like. Now I will say this.
How does that happen? How does that movie get made?
Well, and the funny thing is, when you said the date, you said like 03 or something, which doesn't seem long ago enough for that to have happened.
No.
Because if you had told me that, in 1983 they did this, it'd be like, all right.
Right.
Well, maybe, but really?
Permissible in 83.
Well, they said, at least this was later, somebody said that there was a cut of the movie that was actually great. And, that happens when someone gets fired and then the studio's like, edit it like this. And not to...
Tiptoes.
But no, this is really...
Oh, no.
See, I only heard it. I didn't see it.
together was perfect.
This is weird to me, the blowjob.
I've got to get going.
Like,
right in the trailer?
yeah, it's a bit forward, no?
Hey, sweetie. I love you.
There's one small problem.
And the voiceover, Sarah.
I'm Ross. I'm his brother. We're twins.
And it's Gary Oldman, too.
Gary
which is-
Oldman.
Are your parents?
Wait, that's Gary Oldman?
the little guy, yeah.
It can tear them apart.
I think you could have let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. They're dwarfs.
Whatever.
Or bring them together.
And the voiceover, I was so obsessed with
It's bad.
the comedy sounding.
Yeah.
It's like if you were making a parody, you would have this guy do the voiceover.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. I'm Steven.
Ah, there you are. This is Steven's father, Bruno, and his mom, Kathleen. And over behind the bar is Steven's brother, Rob.
You could have prepared us for this, don't you think? If you embarrass me, I'll never speak to you again, so just get it together.
How's everybody drink?
And they treat them like they're like, you have aliens.
I know.
Yeah,
It's not just people.
Yeah.
But it's like you mean these people have disabilities? The fuck? No heads up on that? You could have told me he's in a wheelchair.
That's
when the
the
going
weird.
gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
Would it really be that big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
You knocked up this great girl and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be little. I'm not like you.
We are so cute and cuddly. Don't discriminate against us.
Well, they're also Southern and little, which is interesting. Gary Oldman is English, right?
Yes.
Wow,
But Peter
that's such a
Dinklage right there
strange-
had like a French accent.
Where he was a French.
Well, you know, choices. They let them make choices. You know how
Was
it
he
is.
Cajun or something?
I don't know. I guess he
It's
discussed
so
this.
weird,
And I'm talking about Matthew Mcconaughey, who I believe you played twin brothers with.
Yes, I was his smaller twin.
This is Tiptoes.
Tiptoes.
In which he played a dwarf.
I did play a dwarf. Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was, you know what? I must say, it was a little strange. It didn't turn out as well as we thought it might. It's one of those where it's all a roll of the dice, I guess. But, you know, it's not my finest hour on celluloid.
Well, I really wonder, because it is an incredible shame because, you know, you've seen where they take The Shining and they recut the trailer and make it look like a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And it is amazing what can be done with music and cuts and whatever.
Sure.
And it would be really heartbreaking to find out that this was some beautiful movie.
Peter Dinklage said that it was.
I thought, you said that.
He said that it was a
And the
beautiful
trailer was cut improperly.
Well, he said the film ended up getting, like, the studio changed the entire film. That there was a cut that was, he said, was great, and that it just completely.
We got to get a hold of this, though.
Yeah.
But the title, though, too.
It was strange because I spent all the shooting time on my knees and I worked with real little people, you know. So they would say, okay, that's, 1 hour lunch. And I would stand up.
It's odd.
The thing that made me think it was a parody when it was just listening to it was the title.
Yeah.
And the way the guy said the title, Tiptoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like an SNL.
It does. It seems
It
like-
doesn't seem real.
Oh, man.
Tiptoes.
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 Okay. Are you ready to do what I asked you to do?
Yeah.
All right. This is what I was telling you. I don't know why I agreed to do this. This was my idea.
Oh, shit.
You agreed with yourself to
I
do
agree with myself to do this. But the reason I think I did it because I actually, when you like someone, you don't mind feeling vulnerable around them.
Oh, Christ.
And all I do
What's
is make fun of people. You know, we make fun
Right.
of people. So I feel like this could be so embarrassing, but I'm just going to go for it.
Oh, Christ.
I asked Sean to pull my audition.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. I'm embarrassed
I'm so
already.
embarrassed right now. I'm shaking.
Oh, shit.
So-
You're actually blushing.
I am. It's mortifying.
Oh, I can't watch.
See?
No, it's so painful to watch these things.
I know, but
Not that you probably did great.
I don't know. I did actually.
Auditions are so
I
hard.
wish we had a telestrator for this.
Okay, hold on.
So embarrassing. When
Uh,
I did on,
Do you do a lot of auditions?
Not a lot, but sometimes if I like it, yeah.
Do you know what we
mortifying.
do? My sister's an actor,
Yeah.
and so what we do when we run auditions is we always have a note out in the lobby that just lets people know you're coming into a friendly room.
That's nice.
We're like, we just let them know that, hey, if you want to try some things, like whatever you want to do is cool with us. Because I just when I have to audition people, I feel like the biggest jerk in the world because
Yeah.
it's just one person after another coming in and we just destroy their dreams.
It's
one after the other.
brutal. It can be. I mean, I've
feel
prepared auditions where I've had to prepare characters and sketches and things,
Yeah.
and the casting person will be typing the entire time, and I'm like, I spent
that's
like
awful.
a week preparing these.
We don't let anybody do that.
Yeah.
I've had somebody. I've had somebody read emails as I was auditioning
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, this is my
That's
version.
nice that you do that.
Morning, Julia.
Oh,
This
I
is-
thought that was you. That was your
No,
audition.
This is my version, though.
Good morning, Julia.
This is my Good Morning, Julia.
Oh
Okay.
God, I'm so embarrassed.
Okay, so the reason I asked him to do this is because Sean actually, one thing that never happens when you audition for anything is that you talk to the director afterwards and he tells you about the audition. You know what I mean?
Right.
How it went.
Right. Very. You don't get to hear any
You
feedback
never hear
normally.
anything.
It's just silent
Well,
radio
and,
silence.
and by the way, to be clear, that's what's so brutal about
Yeah.
auditioning is that you have to go in for, and you can't blow it off. You have to go in prepared if you want to have a shot at it. And so often on our side of it, we're looking for something really specific. So more often than not, as soon as somebody walks in the door, you're like, oh,
not
like
right.
You just know they're not quite right. And every now and then somebody will surprise you, and you'll go, oh, okay, this isn't what we had in mind, but this is different and this is cool. But it really is. I told my sister, I said, you need to be a reader at auditions. It'll take the pressure off because you just see one person after another coming in. And the best thing you can know going in, especially for the colder the audition is just know you're not getting it. Just go in just knowing this, I'm not getting this.
Right.
And just
who gives a shit?
Don't be nervous. Just have a good time with it. And because if you do, you do. And but it's rough. It is rough.
It's terrible. And that's interesting what Joe Rogan, when I just did his podcast a couple weeks back, was saying you just can't really give a shit when you go in for auditions.
Auditions.
Like for Fear Factor, he kind of went in, he was saying as a joke. He's like,
said
is
it
this
hurt, it was
real?
stupid, yeah.
And he was kind of shitting on it, and they're like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing is too, it's like you even talking to Sean about this movie right before, I would read the script and he would give me some insight about like another character, like, oh yeah, but the person who plays that should be like this, and I was like, I didn't even pick up on that. Reading, I read your script and I thought that this part should be played by this type of actor, and he was like, well, no, because blah blah blah. But hearing that insight about that, totally made me go like, oh, see, like I didn't even know how that part should be played.
Did you go method on set?
I was very people
in
couldn't even talk
character
to
the
me.
whole time?
Okay,
Yeah,
you
you
ready?
wore that jacket the whole time.
This is
God.
Okay. So I think this is my original.
Oh my God, I can't. Can I leave and
Are
come
you really
back?
gonna leave?
No, you're gonna
I'm
love
so
this. You're gonna love.
embarrassed.
What are you embarrassed for?
I know,
It's
because I
embarrassing.
feel your.
I'm all right.
Yeah,
All right,
I get it.
All right, here we
Oh
go.
fuck.
You dragged us halfway across town to see this shithole?
Wait, just have a little vision. I mean, once we expose the
I can't.
hardwoods, create an open concept in the kitchen, maybe a pergola over the patio.
What's with you guys and pergolas? They don't keep the sun off you. It's like a bunch of stripy shadows. Everyone's still hot.
Guys, look at that play structure in the back. And the schools here are fantastic. And if you have a baby, when you have a baby, we are having a baby. We are having a baby.
She's manifesting to the universe, something she does now. I say if the universe gave a shit about what we wanted, it wouldn't have me paying out of the ass for in vitro. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. You know I'm just playing. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Hey, I know. If this place is so great, why don't you guys move it?
It's not bad, Tom. No. I'm not mortified.
But this was what was wrong, though, right? This was
No,
the bad
well,
one.
Oh, Tom.
No, we talked about
we
this.
talked about this.
We
Yeah.
talked
So
about this.
here's the.
Oh my God, I'm
Well,
so
first of all,
uncomfortable.
here's the other thing that's funny about that a lot of people don't realize about auditions too is that as the writers, you're hearing people do the dialogue, and they're always doing sort of like the longest version of the scene. And when you read a lot of people, it really helps you to cut down the scenes and figure out what to keep and what to let go of. But the poor actors, they've had to go and do like the longest, most tedious version of the scene possible. So that's part of what we're seeing here too. But no, so to give you some insight on this, I was on Skype while he was doing this, and it wasn't bad. There was nothing bad about it. But there was a problem with it. Yeah. And the problem was he wasn't warmly sociopathic. No, you know what it was missing.
Right. His jeans were his jeans loose?
It was missing his low resting heart rate. That is what it was missing, because he had. But if you watch what he's doing, he's good. He's funny, but he's just like he's trying harder than he tries when
required.
we see. Because what I really responded to when I saw his stand-up was I liked this kind of leaned back that he would say kind of sometimes outrageous things, but just say them like, all right, I just said that, so what?
Right.
And then when he came in for the audition, he was more like here, like just sort of laying into it. And I was like, oh, shoot. But I didn't know because you haven't been in anything else.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any frame of reference. Is this just a choice, or can he not do that low resting heart rate thing?
My low resting, my serial killer acting
and
skills.
plus, I've never been in a movie. No, I haven't. But I guess film acting too. I mean, your head is huge, so minimal acting, right? Like you have to kind of play it smaller than you would if you were on stage.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, depending on what you're doing. Sometimes you got to go the other way because sometimes, I think with this guy, yeah, he had to be bold without seeming like he was making an effort to be bold.
Right.
Because also his character is a little bit dominated by his wife in places.
Right.
So he had to be, that guy who is just kind of that sort of devil may care guy. But when he does care is when he just doesn't want to piss off his wife.
Wow.
Pull for my girls, Lindy, Kim, and Ellie, and their wonderful husbands, and Russ.
All
right, Jenny. Don't go busting my balls on Turkey Day.
Okay. It's hard to watch.
I can't do it anymore. Please.
She's asking me to stop.
Well, because I know what that is. I've done these. It's fucking mortifying.
I know. The thing is, like even asking you to send these, which I'm so happy you did, I started to get that thing of like, what if every audition I've ever done could be accessed?
No.
How embarrassing would it be to showcase all your auditions? Because this is one where ultimately it worked out, right? Because I booked a job. But I think about all the ones I went on where you walk out and you're like, oh my God, that was so bad. Like when you know it's bad.
And what is that? What is that in our brains anyway that does that to ourselves? Where it's like you're doing this thing, you're putting yourself out there, you're being bold, you're taking chances. That's the only way you're getting anywhere near anything that big in this world. But we're so mortified by all of that.
I think you know what it is. It's like I say for this, it's like you feel like you're when I'm showing this that I'm showing something where I was trying.
Yeah.
And sometimes the truth is we all have these standards where you want to be seen as great.
Without effortlessly great.
So you want to be like, oh, you want to see my audition, and someone sees it, and you want to feel like everyone's gonna be like, that's amazing. And anytime it's not that, you kind of are a little bit, depending on how far from that it is, embarrassed by it,
Yeah.
Because you want it to be good. I mean, for stand-up,
oh God,
we at least get to showcase that one time where we prepare, and it's, it's months of like preparing, and you show that, and you go like, okay,
because it's perfect. It's near perfect.
It's near. It's like as good as it can be. And even then, sometimes, if my stand-up came on right now, I'd be like, okay, we can turn that off. Like, I don't want to see myself do it.
Well, in stand-up, I've always thought that this is what's really interesting about stand-up is that a huge component of stand-up is being self-deprecating, of acknowledging whatever your own folly is or whatever.
Right.
So you're supposed to be up there presenting like, I don't know, I'm just this regular goofball of a person and this is just what I think about things. But at the same time, you're supposed to be this entertainer and you're supposed to be kind of cool on some level. And it's a tough balance to get all that to where and so much of it is just making all these people feel comfortable so that they can laugh.
Right.
Because that's the thing. Like you've seen comics where they immediately make you uncomfortable and you're like, it doesn't matter what this guy's going to say.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for him right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think thank God with stand-up at least, probably with everything, but with stand-up, the longer you're the one doing it, you start to feel more comfortable with all the elements of it,
Right.
With the performing and the writing and the, you know what I mean? But
I had the dream to do it when I was younger, and I didn't
Really?
have the nerve. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ay,
I
boy.
never had the nerve. I was just like,
probably too healthy for it.
I just want to see
probably
what this
'cause
I love that was
you're
where
normal psychologically.
Let me see what
There's so many different components to stand up, though. I think it's a psychology game too, because you're reading the audience, you're reading everything, yourself, them.
By the way, what one of the reasons I brought this up was that last week when Sean and I were on Joe's thing,
Mhm.
he talked about how I leaned into this one, but then he actually called me, and remember I worked on it.
Yes, I
with him.
remember this
so
time.
I don't have any of those, but I just want to see just 2 more seconds of what this
I
is.
can't,
Oh,
Tom.
my ass, like, when are the new P150s coming in? I'm like, I don't know, Dwayne. My crystal balls, they're back. We got some news.
Okay, I kind
I
of see
can't.
it now. I see it now. I do.
It was dialed up a little bit.
It was dialed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, so what happened was
Stressful.
I called him because I was in Atlanta, and the other thing was I also had really high hopes. I was really excited that you were coming to read for Russ, and I like you already had the job, and then but you didn't.
But I didn't.
Because then I saw it and I was like, oh no, I don't know if this is going to work completely because I need that thing. I need that sort of relaxed vibe.
Grounded, yeah,
With
right.
this guy. And so then I called him and I said, would you be willing to come and work on it? And by the way, that's also really cool for somebody to just say, sure, I'll take time out of my day and not knowing if I'm going to get it.
And it's cool for someone to offer to work on it with you, more importantly.
Yeah, I think it's
I'd
cooler
say.
on your end.
Yeah.
Well, and what we did more than anything is, it's not like we were just practicing it all day. We were mostly just talking about it, like you said, just talking about the character, talking about the movie. And it was really fun. And
you gave me this note, by the way, during filming a few times too.
Which one?
Just like throw it away, chill out, lean back, don't.
Yeah.
Like you brought that up. I remember that a few times.
Yeah, throw it away was always good for us.
Yeah.
Just let it get out there and don't,
But I
let it
also, just so you know, told him this. I confessed that when I left this audition, this one that clearly was not what he was looking for, that I called my agent and I was like, I knocked that shit out of the park. I was
Hilarious.
Like, I would be amazed if he doesn't
Isn't
say.
that funny?
Like, I swear to you. And then he called me. He was like, he said, I remember, he goes, he didn't say it was perfect. He said that, that you could maybe improve it. Like, he was so delicate. I was like, what are you saying? He said, could he call you? And I was like, yeah, he can call me.
You know what's interesting now that you say that? Okay, how come it's the auditions you think you've nailed it and you're like, bam,
Yes,
booked.
it's always
and you
that.
never get the call. And the
Always.
times that I've always gone in there and been like, I don't give a fuck. I actually went in one time, I auditioned for a commercial, and I did not give a fuck so bad that I was eating their snacks. Like the casting people, I was going to eat their pretzels, and they're like, do you want to do this? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Bada. And I booked it. It was a national commercial. I made a ton of money, and I never... I didn't even think I'd get that.
That's kind of a huge secret to life right there. And actually for John and I, it's been the same way. On the writer's version of that is pitching. Pitching is ridiculous. It is a nightmare because it's like an audition that goes on for a half an hour. It's brutal. And because you have to go in there and you have to tell them the entire movie, but you can't tell them the entire movie because, I mean, if I sat down and told you the entire movie of Star Wars, you'd be bored to tears in 10 minutes,
Yeah.
So
then
you
there's
have
this Boba Fett guy. And he comes in. And they're like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to find some way to make your story interesting, not just as a movie, but as you telling it in the room. And you have to bring energy to it, because if you just go in and go, look, guys, it just goes like this and this and this and that. I mean, sure, if you're a superstar, they'll go, great, we'll buy anything you have. But when you're out there trying to make your bones, it's... You got to go in there and you got to put your back into it and you got to sell. And I do not like selling. My brother's a salesman. I could never do it. So I just go in there and it's exhausting.
Yes.
But like you're saying, there were times where John and I would go in on something and, like a rewrite job or something. And we'd be like, we'd talk about it and we'd kind of go in and we didn't give a shit. We'd go in and we'd be like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't do it like that. I mean, we'd do it more like this. I don't know, and they'd be like, great, you're hired. But anytime we were just like so desperate to get the job,
Isn't that interesting?
They would just be like, never,
By the way,
That
ever.
is so how you get everything is when
Everything's
you're
like that.
relaxed. I think because people can see your essence and they
it's-
can see who you are.
It's the dating. It's
Da-
holds through the
love,
dating
same
too. If you're
thing.
like, I love you, and then the person's like, ugh. But
Yeah.
if you're like, I mean, whatever, I'm not that interested, then the person's like, oh, I'd love to go out with you.
Yeah,
It's
and to be
always like
clear,
that.
it's not about not caring.
Correct.
Because that's also, I
Right.
think, really unappealing to people,
Yes.
acting like you don't give a shit
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
anything. It's about being confident in whatever choices you're making at the time. And more than anything, being confident that if this thing you're doing right now isn't successful, that you're going to go on surviving.
Right. There's zero, it has to have, in all facets, no desperation.
Yeah.
Because people can read when you're desperate for work or love or anything like
Well,
that.
and I think the reason why that happens like that naturally is because if you are desperate, you're not going to do a very good job of it.
Right.
So I think people can read that, and I think it's valuable that if somebody is just so desperate to whatever it is that they're doing, it's probably not going to work out very well.
Yeah. I
'Cause
will
they
say
need it too much.
This experience also, like just for other actors, I would say, it showcases to me the nearly, I won't say totally, but like the nearly impossible task of getting cast in a feature studio film without previous experience. It really is a hurdle, right? Like you really need allies. Like I had you wanting me to be in this, and it's like it's still. You start seeing how movies are because you realize that like studios go like, well, who has done this before? Who has a track record?
Well, yes
like
and no.
this?
Sometimes it's that because in your case, I don't think anybody at the studio quite had an idea of what your following was. I didn't either, to be honest. I had seen your specials on Netflix, and I just thought they were brilliant. I think what it is more than anything is that through your stand-up, you were cultivating, you were digging down, drilling into your personality and different aspects of your personality. And in this business, you have so many people that have been doing Shakespeare from the time that they were young.
Yeah.
And they are good at being actors, but they sometimes can lose track of who they are as people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're looking for more than anything. You're looking for who's behind those eyes that can bring something to this part beyond just, there's a lot of people that can deliver the dialogue and make it sound reasonably, believable.
But it is hard, right, to get cast. I mean, like,
oh no, it's very hard. But what I'm saying is that it's not so much about knowing that somebody has experience or whatever. It's somebody coming in and bringing some humanity into whatever it is that they're doing.
I got you.
And that's what the experience allows people to do. I think particularly with stand-up, I think the reason why, like Chris Rock is a really good actor. I mean, so many stand-ups are really good actors. Adam Sandler is an amazing actor, you know? And I think it's because you got to go out there on stage and just sort of like put yourself out there over and over and over in front of so many different people. You're going to drill down into who you really are.
You have to be good at it.
I think about a lot of time. I mean,
because if you're fake on stage, everybody
they know it. But that's why people bomb. It's because the audience can smell the inauthenticity, or if you're terrified, like that comic you were talking about, feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it may have been his terror because they're like, it's like an animal thing
right away.
They're like dogs. They smell your.
But doesn't everybody have to sort of start there?
Yes, we all have the experience.
No, you fuck up for years.
And bombing and like horrible.
It's
bombs,
horrible.
Or like they're emotionally traumatizing experiences.
Yeah, it's the
but when you
trenches.
speak about like comedians and their humanity, I always think about Robin Williams.
Oh my God!
Because I was like, man, like he really. That read so much whenever he was on screen.
Yeah.
Just like the human being that was there. That like you really connected with. Like I would see him in, he played countless roles, but like especially like in a drama or something, or even when he was in a comedy during like the dramatic scenes that balanced the movie out, man, you always felt like, wow, I really see the person here.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he wasn't being funny.
And I don't think it's any coincidence that so many stand-ups who you just think of, oh, that guy or that woman is really good on stage, that it's no coincidence that they are effortlessly they're able to turn in these roles. I mean, Sarah Silverman, so many people that have done these incredible roles in movies that, that if you're one of those people that started acting lessons when you were 4 years old, it must drive you a little crazy to see somebody who's been telling jokes in bars for 10 years come in and just crush like that. But I think the reason why is because they're also doing something really similar to what you're doing when you're pursuing acting at that level. You're just drilling down into who you are.
Yeah. And I also think too, I think what's great about being a comic is that there's a level, like you can be successful, but then you can also eat shit every week. Like you're never too high on your own Kool-Aid.
You can get checked hard.
You get checked all the time.
Be tough.
Yeah, but like your ego, there's not a lot of bullshit.
Well, after a
being
while
comic.
too, you learn to not listen to that, which is a really funny thing.
Yeah.
Like in other words, you'll be on such a good streak of like great shows, but you won't buy into, oh, I'm amazing, because you'll know that it's not true. You'll know, like, keep yourself grounded,
right?
Because this shit can go sideways quickly. So you actually don't buy into getting lost in, oh, all my shows go well.
Yeah, and you've seen people before you who have risen and risen and risen and then started to fall off for whatever reason. That people had kind of gotten used to what they were doing, and they, so you never know. I mean, the way I look at it for me is that when you look at anybody's IMDb page, it stops somewhere.
Yes.
There aren't that many people, particularly directors or writers, where it just goes on and on and on. Usually it's sort of, it just stops somewhere. So you want to be grateful for whatever time you have, and B, you want to always keep that in the back of your mind that this isn't a gravy train that just goes on forever.
What do you tell yourself? Like, you just go like, we'll just keep working, keep doing the work?
Yeah. I mean, John and I, we've always seen ourselves as pretty blue collar in that way. We know we're not geniuses. We know that we work for a living, and we get together every day and we sit in a room and we talk about nonsense, and we just keep poking and prodding at it until it comes together in some way. And we try not to ever turn in drafts that don't, hold up, but everything that we're doing is so subjective. You can write a scene that you think is the greatest scene ever written, and there's going to be somebody that's going to go, that's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
What kind of an asshole would write that?
Yeah.
So there's no way you can ever.
So you can't write for them, though.
You can't write for them, but you can't. It's like what you're saying. You can't ever think that you've got it all figured out because you just never will. So you just keep doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I had such a good experience with you. I want to thank you again for the opportunity. It was so awesome. I feel like I won a contest. I think I did. And we've had fun with you here. I want to encourage everybody. I know I got a ton of messages this week, man, from people that were like, I'm going to the movie just to see you, like to me. And then they're like, I ended up loving the movie. I was not expecting this. I wasn't expecting to cry. Fuck you piece of shit, for making me go to a movie where I cried, stuff like that. But I think you made an amazing film, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And it's Thanksgiving week, and I want to encourage everybody to go see it and bring people. It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, thanks. And by the way, thank you for being in the movie. I mean, you brought a ton to it. And even just having you on set with that attitude of being so excited to be there, I mean, that's really valuable to me.
Who gets used to being in movies?
I know.
How are you like, man?
People do get used to
they get used to it.
I just think it's so special.
I mean, I got to admit, I'm a little bit too used to being on set. And sometimes that's what's great about having somebody who comes in who's not there all the time, is that it's a good reminder of like, oh yeah, we get to make a movie today.
I was
cool
like a
is
kid.
that?
I was like, can I stand here and watch the monitors? And they're like, yeah. I was like somebody visiting set. And
There's
then
free food everywhere.
Like,
that's the best part.
No, it was
Free
great.
Cheetos.
And that's like the fucking crazy. I mean, you met half of them, the actors.
Yeah,
were,
they're
like,
awesome.
Amazing actors.
I love Julie Haggerty so much.
She's so great.
And our grandma.
Yeah, Grandma Sandy.
Margot Martin.
God damn it, I love her.
Isn't she the greatest?
God damn it.
My younger sister was like, I'm so proud of you. It was awesome. I love it. I go, thanks. She goes, I thought Grandma Sandy was the best.
I love Grandma Sandy.
Okay.
That's going to be me.
No, she's so great.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing I could do that I could borrow from Trump is the way he has this like self-promoting thing that he does really well that I think an actor could do, which is he'll be like, a lot of people are saying this, and
right.
So I'm gonna just start going, a lot of people are saying it's the performance of a lifetime.
A lot of people.
Yeah, or he'll be.
I
like,
just keep hearing that.
Yeah. He'll be like, I'm talking to people, and they're just saying that that they've never seen better.
Everybody's saying Fedora is incredible.
A
in this
lot
part.
of people.
When you hear about the tears, that they're pretty much all coming from him.
A lot of people are even saying that they're crying because I'm not in certain scenes.
Right.
That's another thing I've heard people say.
That's the tears.
A lot of people.
I love too that you get that one extra laugh in the last scene when you're with John Morris's son.
Oh yeah.
And that always gets a good laugh at the end of the movie. I think people because I think the reason why that gets a good laugh, nobody knows what I'm talking about right now, but I think the reason why that gets a good laugh is because people really want Russ to make this work.
Sure.
Yeah. They like Russ. They want him to.
There's so many great characters and multiple storylines with the whole family. They're different people, and that one, that's a fun. I'm glad that made the cut.
Yeah,
when we were that day. All right. Well, Sean Anders, thanks again so much.
Thank you, Sean.
Go see Instant Family, and that's that, man. One of our best. We have badass photoshoppers. We have amazing people that do remixes and songs. And one of my absolute favorites is Gaping Dad. He's created some bangers for this show before. He just sent in a Good Morning Julia song. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
So I haven't heard it, but here it is.
Can't wait.
Thank you guys for listening. Again, support Sickler. Go see the movie. You know where to find us on tour.
Watch The Degenerates on Netflix if you have not
There you go.
already, and then let's give a Garth wave to our cameras.
Here we go.
Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Just wanted to say hi. You were so beautiful. Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Mwah. I hope this video doesn't scare you. Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. I will love you like you've never been loved before. Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. It's been sitting in my mind when you said to me you want to go back with your ex-boyfriend. After you experienced me, you won't even know who your ex-boyfriend is. Please erase him from your memory. Don't ever go back in the past. I could see me falling in love with you. Let's go full throttle. Full throttle. Full throttle. I like that. I like that. Full throttle. Good morning, Julia. I really like that. Good morning, Julia. Full throttle. Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Ciao, baby.